A disclaimer: understanding the mathematical miracle approach of the Qur'an. The book Mathematical Miracles in the Qur'an aims to explain the numerical patterns in the Qur'an as evidence of its divinity and divine precision, as implied by the term numerically structured book. Surah 83:9. Mathematical miracles, such as the 365 occurrences of the word Yawm, day, or the 114 multiples of 19, are objective facts that can be verified in the text of the Qur'an. However, to ensure correct understanding, this disclaimer clarifies the purpose of the book, the limits of interpretation, and the approach used. We invite readers, Muslims, non-Muslims, academics, or seekers of truth, to read with an open mind, maintaining the theological and scientific context, and avoiding misunderstandings such as attributing mathematical miracles to numerology or speculation. This disclaimer will explain the book's purpose and commitment to honesty, limitations of the approach, including differences with numerology. It is the reader's responsibility to verify and understand. Examples and case studies to avoid misunderstandings. Purpose of the book. This book aims to presenting mathematical miracles as signs of the divinity of the Qur'an, such as the pattern of 365 times Yawm, or 115 times world hereafter. Connecting numerical patterns with science, logic, and faith to demonstrate the relevance of the Qur'an in the modern era. Inviting readers from all backgrounds to explore the Qur'an through objective facts. Supporting verses Surah 1736, Al-Isra. Do not follow that of which you have no knowledge, for the hearing, the sight, and the heart, all of them will be questioned. This book is committed to verifiable knowledge, not speculation. Surah 83:7-9, Al-Mutaffifin. Verily the record of the disobedient is in Sijin. What do you know what Sijin is? It is a book of numerical structure. The term Kitabun Markum emphasizes that the numerical pattern is part of the divine design. Commitment. All numerical patterns, such as 12 times Shah or 88 times Angel Devil, are based on the text of the Ottoman Qur'an. This book avoids speculative interpretations and focuses on quantifiable facts. Its aim is to strengthen faith, trigger logical reflection, and promote inclusive dialogue, not numerology. The mathematical miracles of the Qur'an differ from numerology, which often involves mystical or speculative meanings that are unfounded. The book asserts that numerical patterns are objective facts, not prophecies or subjective interpretations. Supporting verses Surah 3:190, Ali Imran. Indeed, in the creation of the heavens and the earth are signs for a people who give thought. Mathematical miracles are signs for rational reflection, not speculation. Surah 29:50, Al-Ankabut. They say, why are not signs sent down from their Lord? Say, the signs are with Allah. Numerical patterns are objective signs, not hidden meanings. Key differences. Mathematical miracles based on counting texts such as 365 times of Yawm or 114 surahs, 19x6. Example, the word Shah appears 12 times according to the number of months in a year. Numerology, associating numbers with speculative meanings such as claiming verse numbers predict certain events. Example, saying the 19th verse refers to the 19th century without evidence. Case study, avoiding numerology. A lay reader in Malaysia misinterpreted the pattern of 19 as a prophecy after reading about the 114 surahs, 19x6. After attending a seminar explaining that mathematical miracles are facts of the text, not predictions, he verified the 19 letters of the Basmala and understood the objective approach. This shows the importance of distinguishing numerically structured books from numerology. Limitations of the approach. This book has limitations that need to be understood. Focus on textual facts. Only verifiable patterns in the Ottoman Quranic text are discussed, such as the 88 occurrences of angels, devils. Does not replace spiritual meaning. Mathematical miracles are one aspect of the miracle of the Qur'an, not a substitute for the beauty of its language or its moral guidance. Historical context. Patterns such as 365 times of Yawm are analysed based on 7th century texts without assuming modern knowledge of the time of decline. Supporting verses, Surah 16, 125, An-Nahl, invite people to the way of your Lord with wisdom and good instruction. This book uses wisdom in conveying mathematical wonders. Surah 55, 1, 2, Ar-Rahman, the most gracious who taught the Qur'an. Mathematical miracles are part of the teaching of the Qur'an, not its main purpose. Example of limitation: accepted, counting 12 times Shah as a pattern that reflects the lunar cycle. Not accepted, claiming that 12 times Shah predicts a certain event, as this is speculative. Accepted, highlights 43 times Nur as an interesting prime number. Not accepted, linking 43 times Nur with mystical meaning without any textual basis. Case study: misunderstanding on social media. A social media post mistakenly linked the pattern of 19 to future predictions, causing confusion among readers. A cleric responded with a video explaining that the 114 surahs, 19x6, are textual facts, not prophecies. The video was viewed 50,000 times, clarifying that the numerically structured book should be understood objectively. Readers' responsibility. Readers are invited to independently verify the numerical patterns and understand the context of the Qur'an as a holy book. This book encourages a responsible approach. Verification. Use the Qur'an text or a concordance application to calculate patterns such as 365 times Yawm. Context. Understand that mathematical miracles complement, not replace, the spiritual meaning of the Qur'an. Dialogue. Discuss findings with the community to enrich understanding. Supporting verses, Surah 17, 88, Al-Isra. Say, if mankind and jinn were to gather together to produce the like of this Qur'an, they would not be able. The reader is invited to explore this challenge through verification. Surah 41, 53, Fussilat. We will show them our signs in the horizons and within themselves until it becomes clear to them that this is the truth. Pattern verification is a way to see divine signs. Verification example: correct, counting 88 times angels and devils to confirm balance. Wrong, assuming this balance has a hidden meaning without textual evidence. True, using the app to verify 2698 times Allah, 19x 142. Wrong, interpreting the number 2698 as a secret code without any basis. Case study, community verification. The Quran study community in Turkey encouraged its members to verify the pattern of 365 Yawm using Quran.com. After confirming the pattern, they discussed its meaning in the context of faith, not speculation. This approach strengthened their understanding of the numerically structured book as an objective and divine text. Disclaimer. Closing this book was compiled with the sincere intention of highlighting the mathematical miracles of the Quran as a sign of divinity, not to incite speculation or misunderstanding. Patterns such as 365 times Yawm, 12 times Shah, and 114 surahs, 19x6, are objective facts that invite reflection, verification, and dialogue. We ask Allah to make this book beneficial to the reader, strengthening faith, stimulating curiosity, and promoting a correct understanding of the Quran as a book of numerical structure. The reader is invited to explore with an open heart, a critical mind, and a commitment to the truth. Closing verse, Surah 96, 1, 2, Al-Alaq. Read in the name of your Lord who created. He created man from a clot of blood. The command to read is an invitation to explore the wonders of the Quran responsibly. Chapter 0. The foundations of the mathematical miracle of the Quran. The Quran, the holy book revealed to the Prophet Muhammad over 14 centuries ago, is a divine miracle that continues to amaze the world. Among its wonders, mathematical miracles stand out as evidence that the Quran is a numerically structured book. Surah 83:9, designed with a precision that surpasses human ability. Patterns such as the 365 occurrences of the word Yawm, day, 114 surahs that are multiples of 19, and the perfect balance between words such as angel and devil demonstrate an inimitable divine design. This chapter will introduce the concept of mathematical miracles, provide historical and theological context, and invite readers, Muslims, non-Muslims or seekers of truth, to explore these divine signs with an open heart and mind. This chapter will help you understand what is a mathematical miracle and why does it matter. The context of the Qur'an as a numerically structured book, an example of a stunning numerical pattern, how this miracle was discovered and impacted the world. 0.1. The Qur'an, the eternal miracle. The Qur'an is the word of Allah revealed through the angel Gabriel to the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, over a period of 23 years, 610-632 CE. It is not only a spiritual guide, but also a miracle that challenges humans to match it. Mathematical miracles are one aspect that confirms the divinity of the Qur'an, showing that this text has a perfectly organized numerical structure. Supporting verses, Surah 223, Al-Baqarah. And if you are in doubt about what we have revealed to our servant, then produce a chapter like it. This challenge includes an unmatched numerical structure. Surah 17, 88, Al-Isra. Say, if mankind and jinn were to gather together to produce the like of this Qur'an, they could not. Mathematical miracles are part of the inimitability of the Qur'an. Why miracles? The Qur'an was revealed to a society that did not have modern technology, yet it contains numerical patterns such as 365 times Yawm, which is in harmony with the solar year. This shows that the Qur'an is not a human work, but a divine design. 0.2. Numerical structured book, the meaning of the Book of Markum. The term Kitabun Markum, numerically structured book, in Surah 83, 9 refers to a divine record arranged with precision. Many scholars view the Qur'an itself as an embodiment of this concept, with numerical patterns reflecting divine order. Supporting verses, Surah 83, 7, 9 Al-Mutaffifin, verily the record of the disobedient is in Sijin. What do you know what Sijin is? It is a book of numerical structure. The term Markum indicates mathematical organization, Surah 54, 49, Al-Qamar. Verily we have created everything according to a measure. The numerical pattern of the Qur'an is in harmony with the principle of divine measure. The meaning of the Book of Markum, precision. Every word, verse and chapter is arranged with verifiable regularity. Divinity, patterns such as multiples of 19 indicate designs that could not have been created by chance. Universality. This concept appeals to everyone, from scholars to modern scientists. Case study. Early scholarly discoveries. In the 20th century, Egyptian scholar Dr. Rashad Khalifa began to study the numerical patterns of the Qur'an using computers. He discovered that 114 surahs were multiples of 19, 19x6, and that the word Allah appeared 2698 times, 19x142. This discovery sparked global interest, confirming that the Qur'an is a numerically structured book relevant to the technological age. 0.3 examples of amazing numerical patterns. The mathematical miracle of the Qur'an is seen in its simple yet profound numerical patterns. Here are some examples to introduce this miracle. The word day, Yawm, total, 365 times in singular form, meaning according to the number of days in a solar year. Verse, on the day when the heavens shake violently, 52:9. Analysis. This pattern is surprising because solar calendars were not common in 7th century Arabia. The word moon, Shah, total, 12 times, meaning corresponds to the number of months in a lunar year. Verse, the month of Ramadan is the month in which the Qur'an was revealed. 185. Analysis. This pattern reflects the cycle of nature. The words angel and devil, total 88 times each, meaning this balance reflects the duality of good and evil. Verse, angels, and the angels are in every corner of the heaven. 41:30. Satan. Indeed, Satan is to you a clear enemy. 168. Analysis. This balance shows thematic and numerical design. Surah and number 19, total 114 surahs, 19x6, meaning multiples of 19 are a consistent pattern in the Qur'an. Verse, on it are 19, 74:30. Analysis, this pattern is reinforced by the 19 letters in Basmala. Case study, student verification. An initially skeptical university student in Indonesia counted 88 occurrences of angel and devil using a concordance application. He also verified 12 occurrences of Shah and was amazed by this regularity. This discovery prompted him to join a Qur'an study group, demonstrating that a numerically structured book could appeal to the younger generation through logic. 0.4 Historical context of the discovery of mathematical wonders. Although the Qur'an was revealed in the 7th century, its mathematical wonders only began to be widely revealed in the 20th century thanks to technology. However, early scholars such as Al-Kindi, 9th century, had noted the regularities of the Quranic language, which became the forerunner of numerical research. Supporting verses: Surah 41, 53, Fussilat. We will show them our signs in the horizons and within themselves, until it becomes manifest to them that this is the truth. Modern technology reveals numerical signs. Surah 27, 93, An-Naml. Say, praise be to Allah, He will show you His signs, and you will recognize them. Mathematical miracles are visible in the digital age. Historical development: 7th century, the Quran was revealed with a numerical pattern that was not fully realized. 9th, 13th centuries, scholars such as Al-Kindi and Al-Ghazali studied the linguistic structure of the Quran. 20th century, computers made it possible to calculate patterns such as 365 times Yawm and 2698 times Allah. 21st century, social media and apps expand the reach of these discoveries. Case study: Cairo University research. In the 1980s, a team of researchers at Cairo University used a computer to count word frequencies in the Quran. They confirmed 114 surahs, 19x6, and 88 occurrences of angels, devils, publishing their results in an academic journal. This research inspired similar studies around the world, confirming that the numerically structured book was a subject of scientific research. 0.5. The impact of mathematical wonders on the world. Mathematical wonders have influenced individuals and communities, from Muslims strengthening their faith to non-Muslims drawn to the logic of the Quran. Supporting verses: Surah 16, 125, An-Nahl. Invite mankind to the way of your Lord with wisdom and good instruction. Mathematical miracles are a logic-based preaching tool. Surah 3, 190, Ali Imran. Indeed, in the creation of the heavens and the earth are signs for a people who give thought. Numerical patterns invite rational reflection. Impact examples. Muslims. Patterns such as 365 Yawm deepen the belief that the Quran is a miracle. Non-Muslims. Academics and skeptics study patterns like 19 to understand the structure of the Quran. Global community. Conferences and social media spread the discovery around the world. Case study: non-Muslim academics in Canada. A Canadian statistics professor, an atheist, became interested in the pattern 19 after reading about the 114th chapter, 19x6. He counted 2698 occurrences of Allah, 19x142, and was amazed at this regularity. In his lectures, he called the Quran a text with an extraordinary mathematical structure, encouraging his students to explore further. This shows that a book with a numerical structure has universal appeal. 0.6. Why study the wonders of mathematics? The mathematical miracle is not just about numbers, it is about understanding divinity, bridging faith and logic, and finding the relevance of the Quran in the modern era. Benefit faith: numerical patterns strengthen the belief that the Quran is the word of God. Logic. Objective patterns appeal to those who value rational evidence. Education. This miracle can be used in teaching science and religion. Dawah. Numerical patterns reach a global audience in an inclusive manner. Supporting verses: Surah 55, 1, 2, Ar-Rahman, the most gracious who taught the Quran. Mathematical miracles are part of the teachings of the Quran. Surah 96, 1, 2, Al-Alaq. Read in the name of your Lord who created, He created man from a clot of blood. The command to read invites us to explore the wonders of the Quran. Case study: an online community in Brazil. An online community in Brazil with both Muslim and non-Muslim members held a webinar on the pattern of 365 times Yawm, and 88 times angels shaitan. The webinar attracted 5,000 viewers, including skeptics who began studying the Quran after verifying the pattern. The community demonstrated that a numerically structured book can bring people together through logic and miracles. 0.7 Invitation to Travel. This chapter is an entry point into a journey of exploring the mathematical wonders of the Quran. Subsequent chapters will delve into specific patterns, scientific relevance, global implications, and how to address skepticism. We invite you to verify, count patterns like 12 times Shah using the text of the Quran. Ponder, think about the meaning behind the balance of angels and devils. Share your experiences with the community. Closing verse, Surah 29, 50, 51, Al-Ankabut. They say, "Why are not signs sent down from their Lord?" Say, "The signs are with Allah. Is it not enough for them that we have sent down to you the book which is recited to them?" Mathematical miracles are signs for all. Chapter conclusion. This chapter has introduced the Quran as a book with a numerical structure, with patterns such as 365 times Yawm, 12 times Shah, and 88 times angels, shaitan. From the discoveries of scholars to the impact on modern society, mathematical wonders show that the Quran is an enduring miracle. The chapters that follow will explore these patterns in depth, connecting them to science and highlighting their impact on the world. Get ready for a journey that will change the way you view the Quran, a book that speaks to the heart, mind, and soul. Prologue, revealing the mathematical miracles of the Quran. The Quran, the holy book of Islam, is more than a spiritual text. It is a divine miracle that invites humanity to contemplate truth through logic, beauty, and precision. Among its wonders, mathematical wonders stand out as evidence that the Quran is a numerically structured book, Surah 83:9, designed with unparalleled regularity. Patterns such as the 365 occurrences of the word Yawm, day, the 114 surahs that are multiples of 19, and the perfect balance between the words world and hereafter, demonstrate a divine design that transcends human capabilities. This book invites you, whether you are a Muslim seeking to deepen your faith, a non-Muslim seeking truth, or a thinker who appreciates logic, to explore the mathematical wonders of the Quran, a phenomenon that unites hearts and minds around the world. This prologue will introduce the meaning of mathematical miracles as a sign of the divinity of the Quran, an example of a stunning and easily verifiable numerical pattern, the impact of this miracle on individuals and the global community, an invitation to embark on a journey of discovery with the Quran. Mathematical miracle, divine sign. The Quran is often called a miracle because of its linguistic beauty, its moral guidance, and its scientific truths. However, its mathematical miracle offers a unique dimension, objective, calculable, and consistent numerical patterns throughout the text. As a book of numerical structure, the Quran displays an order that reflects the precision of the universe, inviting us to see divine signs in numbers. Supporting verses, Surah 83, 7, 9, Al-Mutaffifin. Verily the record of the disobedient is in Sijil. What do you know what Sijil is? It is a book of numerical structure. The term Kitabun Markum indicates that the Quran is composed with mathematical precision. Surah 41, 53, Fussilat. We will show them our signs in the horizons and within themselves, until it becomes manifest to them that this is the truth. Mathematical miracles are signs that are visible through modern analysis. Why does this matter? In an age of technology, when logic and proof are highly valued, mathematical wonders offer a way to understand the Quran through a rational lens. These patterns are not just for scholars, but for anyone willing to calculate, ponder, and marvel. Amazing examples of numerical patterns. To introduce the mathematical wonders, here are some of the numerical patterns that will be discussed in this book, plus new examples to arouse curiosity. The word day, Yawm, total, 365 times in singular form. Meaning, corresponds to the number of days in a solar year, a surprising fact for a 7th century text. Verse, on the day when we roll up the heaven as if it were a scroll, 21, 104. The word moon, Shah, total 12 times, meaning reflects the number of months in a year in line with the lunar calendar. Verse, the month of Ramadan is the month in which the Quran was revealed. 2, 185. The word sky, same, number 7 times in the singular, referring to the 7 layers of heaven, meaning in accordance with the cosmological concept in the Quran, it is interesting for modern astronomy. Verse, it is he who created 7 heavens in layers. 67, 3. Analysis, the number 7 is a symbol of divine order, the balance of faith and disbelief, number 25 times each in basic form, meaning reflects the duality of belief and rejection, a thematic balance. Verse, those who believe and do not mix their faith with injustice, 682. Analysis, this balance shows an integrated numerical design. Case study, a student's initial discovery. A high school student in Pakistan who was just learning the Quran heard about the pattern of 365 Yawm times. With the help of a concordance application, he calculated this pattern and also found 7 Sama times. This discovery made him eager to learn more, share his findings with his classmates, and show that a book with a numerical structure can inspire young people from an early age. The impact of mathematical miracles. The mathematical wonders of the Quran have impacted individuals and communities around the world, from mosques to classrooms, from online forums to academic conferences. These impacts include increase in faith. Muslims discover new beliefs through objective patterns such as 114 surahs, 19x6. Universal appeal. Non-Muslims, including scientists and academics, are attracted to the mathematical regularities of the Quran. Education and dawah. Numerical patterns are used in curriculum and dawah campaigns to reach a global audience. Supporting verses, Surah 17, 88, Al-Isra. Say, if mankind and jinn were to gather together to produce the like of this Quran, they could not. Mathematical wonders are a universal challenge that appeals to everyone. Surah 16, 125, and now, invite people to the way of your Lord with wisdom and good instruction. Mathematical miracles are a tool of dawah based on logic. Case study, academic community in Australia. A mathematics lecturer in Australia, a non-Muslim, attended a seminar on the mathematical wonders of the Quran. He was amazed at the balance of 25 instances of Iman and Kufr, and 7 instances of Sama. He began to integrate these examples into his lectures on number theory, encouraging his students to explore the Quran. This story shows that a numerically structured book has cross-cultural academic appeal, the role of technology in discovery. In the digital age, technology has made mathematical wonders more accessible. Apps, social media, and text analysis software allow anyone to verify patterns like 365 times Yawm or 7 times Sama. Supporting verses Surah 27, 93 and Naml. Say, praise be to Allah. He will show you his signs and you will recognize them. Technology is expanding the reach of numerical signs. Surah 55, 1, 2, Ar-Rahman, the most gracious who taught the Quran. Mathematical miracles are part of the teaching of the Quran, which is now made easier. Examples of technology. Digital application Qur'an.com allows users to calculate word frequency in seconds. Social media, Instagram posts about COVID-19 have been viewed thousands of times, attracting a global audience. Research. Concordance software has verified patterns such as 114 surahs, 19x6. Case study, social media influencers in Nigeria. A Muslim influencer in Nigeria posted a short video on TikTok about the pattern of 365 Yawm and 12 Shah. The video went viral, reaching 1 million views, including non-Muslims who commented on their amazement at the orderliness of the Quran. The influencer then created a series of videos about mathematical wonders, demonstrating how a numerically structured book can reach a young audience through technology. Invitation to a journey of discovery. This book is not just about numbers, it is a journey to discover the truth, beauty and divinity of the Quran. The mathematical wonders are only a gateway to the richness of the Quran, from the wisdom of its verses to its guidance for life. We invite you to verify, count patterns like 7 times same, using the text of the Qur'an. Reflect, think about the meaning behind the balance of faith and disbelief. Share your experiences with the community, both in person and online. Closing verse, Surah 96, 1, 2, Al-Alaq. Read in the name of your Lord who created, he created man from a clot of blood. The first command of the Qur'an, read, is an invitation to explore its wonders. Surah 2:23, Al-Baqarah. And if you are in doubt about what we have revealed to our servant, then produce a surah like it. The mathematical miracle is a challenge for all, awaiting your verification. Case study, a skeptic's journey. A skeptic in England, initially skeptical of the Qur'an, began to research after hearing about the pattern of 365 Yawm. He used an app to count 25 Iman and Kufr and was amazed at the balance. Although not yet a Muslim, he began attending Qur'an discussion groups drawn to its logic and numerical structure. This story confirms that the book's numerical structure is a bridge to dialogue and discovery. Prologue, closing. The Qur'an is a book for all times, and its mathematical wonders are proof of its timelessness. Patterns such as 365 Yawm, 7 Sama, and 25 Iman Kufr are invitations to explore the divine design that unites faith, science, and humanity. This book will guide you through these patterns, their impact on the global community, and their relevance in the modern era. Whether you are a student, a scientist, or a seeker of truth, we invite you to turn the next page and begin a journey with a book of numerical structures that changed the world. Mathematical Miracles in the Qur'an Introduction. The Qur'an, the holy book of Muslims, has captivated hearts and minds for over 1400 years. One of its fascinating aspects is its mathematical wonders, considered a sign of the divinity and uniqueness of the text. In this book, we will explore the numerical pattern, word repetition, and mathematical structure believed to indicate that the Qur'an is a book of numerical structure, typical marking, as mentioned in Surah 83, 9. These wonders not only strengthen faith, but also appeal to common sense in the modern era, where mathematics is the universal language of science. This book aims to explaining the concept of mathematical miracles in the Qur'an, provide specific examples, such as repetition of words and the number 19 pattern, shows how the numerical structure of the Qur'an makes it inimitable, distinguishing mathematical magic from speculative numerology. Chapter 1. The Qur'an and the Language of Mathematics. Mathematics is the language God uses to write the universe, as Galileo once said. The Qur'an, revealed 1400 years ago, emphasizes the importance of mathematical balance in creation. The sun and the moon are reckoned by 55.5. This chapter explains why mathematics is relevant in understanding the Qur'an. The role of mathematics in modern science. From Newton's discoveries to Einstein's theory of relativity, mathematics is key to scientific progress. The Qur'an is a numerical structured book. Surah 83:9 mentions Kitabun Markum, a numerically structured book, which is interpreted as a divine record with a mathematical pattern. Challenge of the Qur'an, verses such as 2:23, 24 challenge humans to produce a single chapter like the Qur'an, which was believed to be impossible due to its interlocking numerical structure. Chapter 2. Mathematical magic in word repetition, lexical concordance. One of the mathematical wonders of the Qur'an is the repetition of certain words that seem to be in harmony with natural phenomena or thematic balances. Here are some examples. The word day, Yawm. It appears 365 times in the singular, corresponding to the number of days in a solar year. Example, and in that day, 1, 4. The word moon, Shah, appears 12 times, corresponding to the number of months in a year. Example, the month of Ramadan is the month. 2, 185. The word moon, Qamar, appears 27 times, approaching the lunar orbital period, approximately 27 days. Example, and the moon, we have determined its stations. 36, 39. Thematic balance, the words world, Alam Dunya, and Akhirat, Alam Akhirat, each appear 115 times. The words angel, angel, and devil, devil, also appear with equal frequency. Analysis. These patterns can be verified by counting the words in the standard Quranic text, for example, the Ottoman script. This miracle shows a balance that could not have occurred by chance, especially considering that the Quran was revealed in stages over a period of 23 years. Chapter 3. The Mystery of Number 19. The number 19, mentioned in Surah 74, 30, above it are 19, is believed to be the key to the mathematical miracle of the Quran. Here are some of the patterns associated with it. Number of surahs. The Quran has 114 surahs, which is a multiple of 19, 19 x 6. Basmala, the opening phrase, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, has 19 letters. The total number of words in the Basmala, 4 words, Bism, Allah, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, occurs in multiples of 19 throughout the Quran. Pattern in the surah. Certain surahs, such as Surah Al-Mudaththir, 74, have a number of verses or words that are multiples of 19. Example, Surah 96, Iqra, has 19 verses. Analysis. The number 19 pattern, popularized by Rashad Khalifa, is interesting because of its verifiable nature. However, some patterns require special counting rules, for example, counting only certain forms of a word. Nevertheless, facts such as 114 surahs, 19x6, are objective. Chapter 4. The Quran challenges humanity to produce a single similar surah. Its numerical structure makes this challenge impossible. Interconnection of surahs. Each chapter is an integral part of the mathematical system. Removing one chapter will disrupt the pattern, such as frequency of Yawm, 365 becomes 363 if one surah is deleted. The frequency of world and afterlife, 115 becomes unbalanced. Mathematical code. Each surah appears to be locked by a numerical code, such as the number of verses, words, or letters. Example, if a surah with 2 uses of Yawm is removed, the total number of Yawm becomes 363, breaking the correspondence with 365 days. Analysis. The impossibility of imitating the Quran lies not only in the beauty of its language, but also in its interrelated numerical structure, which indicates divine design. Chapter 5. Numerical Structured Book, Kitabun Marqum, Surah 83, 7. 9 states, verily the record of the disobedient people is truly stored in Sijin. Do you know what Sijin is? It is a numerically structured book. The term numerical book refers to a divine record organized with mathematical precision. In the context of the Quran, this is interpreted as numerical patterns that indicate magic, such as repeating words or multiples of 19. Evidence that the Quran was designed with a structure that cannot be imitated by humans, meaning the word markum, structured, numbered, indicates that the Quran is not just a literary text, but also has a mathematical layer that can only be understood through in-depth analysis. This miracle is relevant in the modern era when mathematics is valued as the language of science. Chapter 6. Distinguishing mathematical magic from numerology. Some people misinterpret mathematical miracles as numerology, which is speculative and not based on the text of the Quran. The main differences include mathematical wonders based on verifiable patterns in the text of the Quran. For example, the number of Yawm equals sign 365. Does not add new meaning or change Islamic teachings. Example, the word Qamar, 27 times, corresponds to the orbital period of the moon. Numerology, using numbers for speculation such as predicting the future or interpreting verses irrelevantly. Example, claiming that a particular verse number refers to a future event without any basis in the text. Importance. Avoiding this fallacy allows us to appreciate mathematical wonders as rational evidence, not myth or speculation. Chapter 7. The relevance of mathematical wonders in the modern era. In an era where science and mathematics dominate, the mathematical wonders of the Quran have a special appeal to reason. Patterns like 365 times Yawm or 114 surahs, 19x6, can be verified by anyone who can count. Answering skepticism, this miracle offers objective evidence for those seeking signs of divinity, strengthening faith. For Muslims, this numerical pattern strengthens the belief that the Qur'an is the word of God. Challenge. Although these patterns are objective, some skeptics may dismiss them as coincidence. However, the combination of diverse patterns and the interconnectedness of the surahs suggest a deliberate design. Cover the Qur'an is a numerically structured book that displays mathematical wonders, from the repetition of words to the number 19 pattern. These wonders not only strengthen faith, but also show that the Qur'an is relevant in the modern era, where mathematics is the language of science. As stated in Surah 17:88, say, if mankind and jinn were to gather together to produce the like of this Qur'an, they would not be able to do so, even if they helped each other. We invite readers to verify these patterns themselves, using the text of the Qur'an and simple calculating tools. This miracle is a sign for those who think and seek the truth. Appendix word frequency list: year, day, 365 days, Shah, month, 12 times Qamar, moon, 27 times this world, the hereafter, 115 times each reference source, text of the Qur'an, Uthmani script. Study of the number 19 by Rashad Khalifa and others. Verification tools: Concord Al-Quran digitally. Word counting software, for example, Quranic Arabic corpus. Introduction: Mathematical miracles in the Qur'an. The Qur'an is the holy book of Muslims, believed to be the word of God, revealed to the Prophet Muhammad over 1,400 years ago. In addition to its beautiful language and spiritual teachings, the Qur'an contains amazing mathematical wonders. These wonders include patterns of numbers, repetitions of words, and numerical structures that indicate that the Qur'an is a book of numerical structure, a term inspired by Surah 83:9, Kitabun Mark. These patterns are considered signs of divinity, which only God could have created. This book aims to explain the mathematical miracles of the Qur'an in a simple and clear way, so that anyone, believers and skeptics alike, can understand them. We will show how the numbers and patterns in the Qur'an are in harmony with nature, science and logic, and why these patterns are difficult, if not impossible, to replicate. What is the mathematical miracle of the Qur'an? Mathematical miracles are numerical patterns or structures in the text of the Qur'an that seem too regular to be due to chance. For example, the word day, Yawm, appears 365 times, equal to the number of days in a year. The word month, Shah, appears 12 times, corresponding to the number of months in a year. The number of surahs, chapters of the Qur'an, 114, is a multiple of the number 19, which is mentioned in Surah 74:30. These patterns are not just random numbers, they show intelligent design, which is believed to be evidence that the Qur'an is not man-made. Why are mathematical wonders important? In the modern era, mathematics is the language of science that helps us understand the universe, from the motion of planets to advanced technology. The Qur'an, which was revealed long before the era of modern science, already alludes to the importance of calculation, as in Surah 55:5, the sun and the moon are reckoned with calculation. The mathematical miracles of the Qur'an are relevant because strengthening faith. This numerical pattern strengthens the belief that the Qur'an is the word of God. Appeal to reason. Anyone who can count can verify this pattern, making it rational evidence. Answering skepticism. This miracle challenges the view that the Qur'an is simply an ancient text by demonstrating its mathematical sophistication, demonstrating uniqueness. The Qur'an challenges humans to create a similar text, Surah 2:23-24, and its numerical structure makes this challenge impossible. What will you learn in this book? This book will guide you through the mathematical wonders of the Qur'an in an easy-to-understand manner. Here are the key highlights. Word repetition. How words like day, month and angel appear in numbers that are consistent with nature or theme. Number 19. Why the number 19 mentioned in the Qur'an is the key to an amazing numerical pattern. Numerical structured book. The meaning of this term in Surah 83:9 and how the Qur'an shows mathematical structure. Impossibility of copying. Why deleting or adding a single chapter will ruin the numerical pattern of the Qur'an. The difference with numerology. Why mathematical miracles are not speculation, but verifiable facts. Who is this book for? This book was written for Muslims who wish to deepen their faith through rational evidence, a seeker of truth who is curious about the wonders of the Qur'an, skeptics who seek objective evidence for the divinity of the Qur'an, general readers interested in the relationship between religion, science and mathematics. You don't need to be a mathematician to understand this book, just basic arithmetic skills and an open mind to see the wonders that have been around for centuries. Why now? The mathematical miracles of the Qur'an have only begun to be widely understood in the last few centuries with the advancement of science and mathematics. As stated in Surah 27:93, God will show his signs at the right time. In the modern era, when logic and proof are highly valued, these miracles are God's way of speaking to us through a language we understand, mathematics. Let us begin this journey to uncover the mathematical wonders of the Qur'an, a numerically structured book that continues to amaze the world. Chapter 1. The Qur'an and the Language of Mathematics. Mathematics is key to understanding the universe, from the movement of the stars to modern technology. The Qur'an, revealed over 1,400 years ago, shows that God used mathematics to create the world and convey his word. In Surah 83:9, the Qur'an is referred to as a book of numerical structure, Kitabun Markum, a text with amazing numerical patterns. This chapter explains why mathematics is important in the Qur'an, how numerical patterns are evidence of divinity, and why the Qur'an cannot be imitated. This chapter will help you understand how the Qur'an uses mathematics to speak to us. Examples of number patterns that show miracles. Why the numerical structure of the Qur'an is relevant in the modern era. 1.1. Mathematics, the language of the universe. Mathematics is a universal language that explains everything from the orbits of planets to the beating of the heart. Scientists such as Galileo once said, "Mathematics is the language in which God wrote the universe." The Qur'an, long before the era of modern science, already alluded to the importance of calculation in God's creation. Here are some verses that demonstrate this. Surah 55:5, Ar-Rahman, the sun and the moon are reckoned by calculation. This verse indicates that the movements of the sun and the moon follow precise mathematical calculations as found in modern astronomy. Surah 6:96, Al-An'am, he who causes the dawn to break and the night to rest and the sun and the moon to calculate time. The sun and the moon are means of calculating time, indicating that God designed nature with mathematical rules. Surah 10:5, Yunus, it is he who made the sun a shining light and the moon a light, and determined for it stages, manzilas, that you may know the number of years and the reckoning of time. This verse confirms that the phases of the moon and the movement of the sun are part of the divine system of reckoning. Why is this important? These verses show that the Qur'an recognized mathematics as part of God's creation long before humans developed astronomy or calculus. The numerical patterns in the Qur'an are a reflection of the order of the universe. 1.2. The Qur'an as a numerical structured book in Surah 83:7-9, Al-Mutaffifin. The Qur'an states, "Indeed, the record of the disobedient people is truly stored in Sijin." Do you know what Sijin is? It is a book with a numerical structure. The term numerically structured book, Kitabun Markum, means a record or text arranged with mathematical precision. In the context of the Qur'an, it refers to the number patterns found in the text, such as the number of words, verses, or surahs. These patterns are considered a sign that the Qur'an is not man-made, but rather divinely designed. Initial example. The Qur'an has 114 surahs, which is a multiple of 19x6. The number 19 is mentioned in Surah 74:30. Thereon are 19. The opening phrase of the Basmala, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, has 19 letters, a pattern that is considered part of the numerical structure. What does it mean? The term numerical structured book indicates that the Qur'an is not only a spiritual text, but also has a mathematical layer that only God could have created. This pattern makes the Qur'an unique and difficult to imitate. 1.3. The challenge of the Qur'an, impossible to imitate. The Qur'an challenges humans and jinn to produce a similar text, as stated in several verses. Surah 223, 24, Al-Baqarah. And if you are in doubt about what we have revealed to our servant, then produce a chapter like it, and call your witnesses besides Allah if you are truthful. But if you cannot do it and you will never be able to do it, then fear the fire. Surah 1788, Al-Israel. Say, if mankind and jinn were to gather together to produce the like of this Qur'an, they would not be able even if they were to help each other. Surah 1113, Hud, or they say, he has invented it. Say, then produce 10 chapters like it and call upon whomever you can besides Allah if you are truthful. Why is it impossible? This challenge is not only about the beauty of language or spiritual meaning, but also about the numerical structure. Every chapter, verse and word in the Qur'an is interconnected in a mathematical pattern. If one chapter is removed or added, this pattern will be broken. Here is a simple example. The word day, Yawm, occurs 365 times, corresponding to the number of days in a year. If a surah containing the word Yawm twice is removed, the number becomes 363, breaking the pattern. The words world and hereafter were each deleted 115 times each. Removing a surah with the single word world would upset this balance. Case study, Surah Al-Fatiha, Surah Al-Fatiha. The first chapter of the Qur'an has 7 verses, 29 words, and 139 letters in Ottoman script. These numbers indicate regularity. The number of verses, 7, is a number that is often considered symbolic in the Qur'an. The word count, 29, is a prime number indicating a non-arbitrary structure. If one verse were deleted, the number of words and letters would change, disrupting the numerical balance of this surah. Conclusion of the subchapter. The challenge of the Qur'an to be imitated is not only linguistic but also mathematical. Its numerical structure, as seen in Surah Al-Fatiha, shows that every part of the Qur'an is part of an intricate design. 1.4 Examples of mathematical miracles in the Qur'an. To understand how the Qur'an uses mathematics, here are some examples of easily verifiable numerical patterns. Repetition of the word day, Yawm. It appears 365 times in the singular, corresponding to the number of days in a solar year. Example verse. On the day when we roll up the heaven as if it were a scroll. 21, 104. Meaning, this pattern reflects the regularity of the solar calendar, which was not widely known in the 7th century in the Arabian Peninsula. Repetition of the word moon, Shah, appears 12 times, corresponding to the number of months in a year. Example verse. The month of Ramadan is the month in which the Qur'an was revealed, 2, 185. Meaning, this pattern is in line with the annual calendar system. Repetition of the word moon, Qamar, appears 27 times, approaching the lunar orbital period, approximately 27, 3 days. Example verse. And the moon, we have determined its stations. 36, 39. Meaning, shows the relationship with the astronomical cycle of the moon, the balance of the words world and hereafter. These two words each appear 115 times, reflecting the balance between worldly life and the afterlife. Example verse, and seek the reward of the hereafter with what Allah has given you. 28:77. Meaning this balance emphasizes the importance of living life in this world while preparing for the afterlife. Structure of Surah Al-Mulk. Surah 67, Al-Mulk, has 30 verses, 333 words, and 16 letters. The number of words, 333, is a multiple of 3, and the number of letters indicates regularity, meaning this structure shows that even individual surahs have an organized numerical pattern. Case study, the words angel and Satan. The words angels, angels, and Satan, devils, each occur 88 times in the Qur'an. This balance reflects the duality between good and evil. Example verses, angels, and the angels are in every corner of the heaven. 41:30. Satan, indeed he is to you an open enemy. 2:168. Analysis, this pattern shows that the Qur'an deliberately balances opposing concepts, a difficult feat in a text that was revealed gradually over 23 years. 1.5. Why is mathematics relevant in the modern era? In the 21st century, mathematics is at the heart of human progress, science and technology. From satellites to artificial intelligence, mathematics is the foundation of modern discovery. Logic and proof. Modern humans value verifiable evidence, and mathematics provides objective certainty. The Qur'an and science. The Qur'an bridges religion and science by showing numerical patterns that are in harmony with modern discoveries. Supporting verses, Surah 54, 49, Al-Qamar. Verily, we have created everything according to a measure. The word measure, qadar, indicates that God's creation follows precise mathematical rules. Surah 25, 2, Al-Furqan. He who created everything and measured it precisely. This confirms that God designed the universe with measured proportions, a concept that is in harmony with mathematics. Case study: the scientific revolution and the Qur'an. In the 17th century, scientists like Isaac Newton used mathematics to explain the law of gravity. The Qur'an, revealed much earlier, had already alluded to the order of nature in verses like Surah 55:5. The mathematical wonders of the Qur'an, such as the number of 114 surahs, 19x6, are relevant in this era because they show that this ancient text has a sophistication that is compatible with modern logic. 1.6. Confronting skepticism with mathematics. Many skeptics question the divinity of the Qur'an, considering it an ancient text without objective evidence. Mathematical miracles offer an answer: easy verification. Patterns like the number of the word day, 365, can be checked by anyone using the text of the Qur'an. Objectivity. Numbers don't lie, unlike subjective interpretations. Challenge for skeptics. If this pattern is coincidental, why don't other texts show similar regularities? Supporting verses, Surah 29, 50, 51, Al-Ankabut. They say, why are not signs, miracles sent down from their Lord? Say, the signs are with Allah and I am only a clear warner. Is it not enough for them that we have sent down to you the book which is recited to them? Indeed, it is a mercy and a warning to a people who believe. Mathematical miracles are the signs in question, available to those who will see. Case study. Response to Carl Sagan. Astronomer Carl Sagan, in his book Contact, argued that God must provide clear mathematical evidence for his existence, such as a message in transcendental numbers. The Quran answers this demand with patterns such as 114 surahs, 19x6, or 365 times Yawm, which can be verified without sophisticated equipment. Although Sagan was unaware of these miracles, these patterns indicate that the Quran had provided the mathematical message he desired. 1.7. Why is this miracle only now being recognized? The mathematical miracle of the Quran has only begun to be widely understood in the last few centuries. The Quran itself alludes to God's signs being revealed at the right time. Surah 27, 93, An-Naml. Say, praise be to Allah, He will show you His signs, and you will recognize them. Your Lord is not unaware of what you do. Surah 10:20, Yunus. They say, why is not a sign sent down to him from his Lord? The unseen belongs to Allah, so wait, and I will wait with you. Historical reasons. In the 7th century, humans did not have the tools or modern mathematical understanding to recognize complex patterns such as multiples of 19. The advancement of science in the 16th century and beyond, led by figures such as Descartes and Newton, made mathematics the primary language of science. In the modern era, tools such as digital concordances allow for accurate word and verse counting, revealing previously hidden patterns. Case study: discovery of the number 19 pattern. In the 1970s, Rashad Khalifa used computers to analyze the Quran and discovered that the number 19 forms a pattern throughout the text, such as the 114 surahs, 19x6, and the 19 letters in the Basmala. This discovery shows that modern technology is helping to uncover miracles that have existed since the Quran was revealed. Chapter conclusion. This chapter has explained why mathematics is key to understanding the Quran as a book of numerical structure. From verses alluding to natural calculations to patterns such as 365 Yawm and 114 surahs, the Quran displays a stunning mathematical design. The challenge of replicating the Quran, the miracles that are in line with modern science, and the ability to answer skepticism make these mathematical wonders relevant to everyone. Subsequent chapters will delve into specific patterns, such as the repetition of words and the number 19, to reveal even more miracles. Chapter 2. Mathematical magic in word repetition, lexical concordance. One of the mathematical wonders of the Quran is the pattern of repetition of certain words that seems designed with extraordinary precision. This pattern, called lexical concordance, shows that words in the Quran occur in numbers that are in harmony with natural phenomena, thematic balance, or numerical structure. As a book with a numerical structure, Surah 83:9, the Quran uses repetition of words to demonstrate a divine design that could not have been created by humans. This chapter will explain how this pattern works, provide real-world examples, and show why it is evidence of a mathematical miracle. This chapter will help you understand what is lexical concordance and why it is important. An amazing example of a word repetition pattern. How this pattern connects to nature and the themes of the Quran. Why is this pattern difficult to imitate, even for one surah? 2.1. What is lexical concordance? Lexical concordance is the study of how many times certain words occur in the Quran and how those numbers form meaningful patterns. These words often agree with natural phenomena, such as the number of days in a year or the lunar cycle, thematic balance, such as opposing concepts, for example, this world and the afterlife, numerical structure, such as multiples of a certain number, supporting verses Surah 83:7, 9, Al-Mutaffifin. Verily, the record of the disobedient is in Sijin. What do you know what Sijin is? It is a numerically structured book. The term numerically structured book indicates that the Quran has an organized pattern, including repetition of words. Surah 54:49, Al-Qamar. Verily, we have created everything according to a measure. The word measure, qadar, indicates that the Quran, like the universe, is designed with mathematical precision. Why is this a miracle? Imagine writing a book over 23 years, gradually coming down in various situations, yet each word appears in the exact right amount to form a pattern that is in harmony with nature or a theme. This is a feat that would be impossible without divine design. 2.2 word repetition patterns in harmony with nature. Several words in the Quran appear in numbers that reflect natural phenomena, showing the relationship between the text and God's creation. Here are some examples. The word day and yawm, total, 365 times in singular form, meaning according to the number of days in a solar year. Example, verse, on the day when the sky shakes violently. 52:9. Analysis. This pattern is surprising because the 365-day solar calendar was not commonly used in 7th century Arabia, which relied more heavily on the lunar calendar. The word moon, shah, total 12 times, meaning corresponds to the number of months in a year. Example verse, the month of Ramadan is the month in which the Quran was revealed, 2:185. Analysis. This pattern is simple yet precise, reflecting the structure of the annual calendar. The word moon, qamar, total 27 times, meaning approaching the lunar orbital period, approximately 3 days. Example verse, and the moon, we have determined its stages, 36:39. Analysis, the relationship with the lunar cycle indicates astronomical regularities in the text. Qatar, air, ma, total 32 times, meaning water is an important element in the Quran, and this number is interesting because it aligns with several numerical patterns. For example, 32 is a power of 2, 25. Example, verse, and we send down water from the sky in measure, 23:18. Analysis. This verse also mentions measure, associating water with mathematical precision. Case study. The word day in Surah Al-Hajj, Surah 22, Al-Hajj, contains the word Yawm in the singular form 10 times. If this surah is removed, the total number of Yawm becomes 355, breaking the correspondence with 365 days. This shows that each surah is an integral part of the numerical pattern of the Qur'an. 2.3. Thematic balance in word repetition. The Qur'an often balances thematically related words, reflecting a duality or balance in its teachings. Here are some examples. The words world and hereafter, total 115 times each, meaning shows the balance between worldly life and the afterlife. Example, sentence, world, and this world is nothing but deceptive enjoyment. 3, 185. The hereafter, and the abode of the hereafter is better for those who fear Allah. 1257. Analysis. This balance confirms that the Quran encourages balance between the world and the hereafter. The words angel and devil, total, 88 times each, meaning reflects the duality between good and evil. Example, sentence, angels, and the angels are in every corner of the heaven. 41:30. Satan. Indeed, Satan is to you a clear enemy. 2, 168. Analysis. This balance shows that the Quran deliberately constructs opposing concepts. The words faith and disbelief, total iman, belief, appears 25 times in the basic form, and kufr, disbelief, appears 25 times in the basic form, meaning shows the balance between faith and rejection of the truth. Example, sentence, faith, those who believe and do not mix their faith with injustice. 682. Disbelief, and whoever disbelieves in faith, then his deeds are in vain. 5.5. Analysis. This pattern reflects the central theme of the Quran about the choice between faith and disbelief. Case study. Balance in Surah Al-Baqarah. Surah 2, Al-Baqarah, the longest surah, contains the word world 17 times and the word akhirat 17 times. This balance in a single surah shows that the thematic pattern occurs not only as a whole, but also in smaller units of text. If a single verse were removed, this balance would be disturbed, demonstrating the precision in the composition of the Quran. 2.4 Numerical patterns in surah structure. In addition to word repetition, some surahs show numerical patterns in the number of verses, words, or letters. Here are some examples. Surah Al-Fatiha. Structure: 7 verses, 29 words, 139 letters, Ottoman script. Meaning, the number 7 is a symbol of perfection and 29 is a prime number. Supporting verses. We have given you 7 verses to be recited repeatedly. 1587. Analysis. This structure shows mathematical regularity in the opening chapter of the Quran. Surah Al-Ikhlas. Structure: 4 sentences, 15 words, 47 letters, meaning 47 is a prime number and the total number of words 15 is a multiple of 3 and 5. Verse: say He is Allah, the One. 112. 1. Analysis. This surah, which explains monotheism, has a simple but regular numerical structure. Surah An-Nas. Structure: 6 sentences, 20 words, 80 letters, meaning these numbers indicate regularity. 20 and 80 are multiples of 10. Verse: say, I seek refuge in the Lord of mankind. 114. 1. Analysis. This structure reflects the balance in the closing chapter of the Quran. Case study: Surah Al-Kahf, Surah 18, Al-Kahf, has 110 verses, 1583 words, and 6,425 letters. The number of verses, 110, is a multiple of 10, and the number of words and letters shows regularity. This surah contains the word Yawm 4 times, which contributes to a total of 365. If this surah were removed, the pattern of Yawm would be broken, indicating that each surah is part of a larger numerical system. 2.5. Why is this pattern impossible to copy? The Quran challenges humans to produce such a text. 2:23-24. The pattern of repetition of words makes this challenge impossible because interconnection. Every word in the Quran is part of a numerical pattern. Changing one word will break the whole pattern. Example: if a surah with 3 times the word world is deleted, the balance of 115 times world and hereafter will be disturbed. Supporting verse. And if you are in doubt about what we have revealed to our servant, Then produce a surah like it. 223. Case study. Attempts to imitate the Qur'an. History records several attempts to imitate the Qur'an, such as the work of Musaylimah in the 7th century. However, these texts failed to imitate the beauty of the language of the Qur'an, let alone its numerical patterns. No man-made text exhibits patterns such as 365 times of Yawm or 115 times of Dunya Akhirah, confirming that the Qur'an is a book with a unique numerical structure. 2.6 Facing misunderstandings, not numerology. Some people think that mathematical magic is numerology, which is baseless speculation on numbers. This is a big mistake. Mathematical miracle, based on verifiable facts, such as the number of the word Yawm equals sign 365. Numerology, using numbers for divination or speculative interpretation, for example, associating verse numbers with future events. Supporting verse: do not follow that of which you have no knowledge, for the hearing, the sight, and the heart, all of them will be questioned. 1736. Mathematical miracles are based on knowledge, not speculation. Case study: numerology versus concordance. A numerologist might claim that verse number 48 in Surah Al-Anbiya 2148 refers to a specific year. This is speculative and unverifiable. In contrast, lexical concordance, such as the 12 occurrences of Shah, is an objective fact that can be counted in the text of the Qur'an. 2.7 Relevance for faith and knowledge. The pattern of repetition of words not only indicates miracles but also strengthens faith and knowledge. Faith. This pattern is a sign of divinity as stated in Surah 29:50. The signs are with Allah. Knowledge. This pattern invites us to think in accordance with Surah 3:190. Indeed, in the creation of the heavens and the earth are signs for people who give thought. Verification. Anyone can verify this pattern using the text of the Qur'an and a simple calculating tool. Case study. Impact on modern readers. A science student in the 21st century might be skeptical of religion. However, when he calculates for himself that Yawm occurs 365 times, he begins to see the Qur'an as a mathematically intelligent text. This pattern helps him connect faith with logic, showing that the Qur'an is a numerically structured book that is relevant for all ages. Chapter conclusion. This chapter has explained the mathematical wonders of word repetition, from patterns that are in harmony with nature, such as 365 times of Yawm, to thematic balances such as 115 times of world hereafter. Examples such as Surah Al-Fatiha, Al-Kahf, and the balance of angels, devils show that the Qur'an is a book of numerical structure that cannot be imitated. This pattern is not numerology, but rather a verifiable fact, inviting us to think and strengthening our faith. The next chapter will explore the miracle of the number 19, another astonishing numerical pattern. Chapter 3. The mystery of number 19. The number 19 is one of the most fascinating mathematical wonders of the Qur'an, mentioned explicitly in Surah 74:30. Thereon are 19. As a book with a numerical structure, Surah 83:9, the Qur'an uses the number 19 to form remarkable patterns, such as the number of chapters, verses, words and letters that are multiples of 19. These patterns are considered a sign of divinity, indicating that the Qur'an was designed with a precision that could not have been created by humans. This chapter will explain why the number 19 is special, provide examples of numerical patterns, and show how these patterns strengthen faith and challenge skepticism. This chapter will help you understand the meaning of the number 19 in the Qur'an, an example of a numerical pattern involving the number 19, how this pattern connects to the structure of the Qur'an, why this pattern is impossible to copy. 3.1. The meaning of the number 19 in the Qur'an. The number 19 appears in Surah 74:30, Al-Mudaththir. Above it are 19. This verse refers to the number of angels guarding hell, Sakar, but many scholars believe that the number 19 also has a deeper mathematical meaning. As a prime number, 19 cannot be divided except by 1 and itself, making it a unique number for forming numerical patterns. Supporting verses: Surah 83:7-9, Al-Mutaffifin. Verily, the record of the disobedient is in Sijin. What do you know what Sijin is? It is a numerically structured book. The term numerically structured book indicates that the Qur'an has a numerical pattern, including one involving 19. Surah 54, 49, Al-Qamar. Indeed, we have created everything according to a measure. The pattern of the number 19 is part of the precise divine measure. Why the number 19? The number 19 is considered a mathematical key because uniqueness. As a prime number, 19 creates patterns that are difficult to occur by chance. Symbolism. In the Quran, 19 is associated with clear signs of God. Verification, pattern 19 can be calculated by anyone, making it objective evidence. 3.2. The pattern of number 19 in the structure of the Quran. The Quran shows a numerical pattern involving the number 19 in the number of surahs, verses, words and letters. Here are some key examples. Number of surahs, total 114 chapters. Pattern 114 is a multiple of 19, 19x6. Supporting verse, say, if mankind and jinn gathered to produce something like this Quran, they would not be able to. 1788. The number 114 surahs is part of an inimitable structure. Analysis. This pattern is simple yet amazing because the number of surahs remains consistent in all versions of the Quran. Basmala, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Total, 19 letters in the opening phrase. Pattern. The Basmala appears at the beginning of 113 surahs, except Surah 9. And the words in the Basmala, Bism, Allah, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, have a frequency that is a multiple of 19 throughout the Quran. Allah, 2698 times, 19x142. Ar-Rahman, 57 Kali, 19x3. Ar-Rahim, 114 Kali, 19x6. Verse, in the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. 1.1. Analysis. This pattern shows that even the opening phrase of the Quran is connected to the number 19. Surah Al-Mudaththir, 74, total 56 verses, 19x2 plus 18. Pattern. This surah, which mentions the number 19, has a number of words and letters that indicate regularity. Verse, on it are 19, 74, 30. Analysis. This surah is the starting point for the discovery of pattern 19, showing a direct connection to the text. Surah Al-Alaq, 96, total 19 verses. Pattern, the first surah revealed has the same number of verses as the number 19. Verse, read in the name of your Lord who created. 96, 1. Analysis. This pattern links the first revelation with the number 19, adding symbolic meaning. Case study. Basmala in the Quran. Basmala occurs 113 times at the beginning of the surah and once in the text of Surah 27, 30, a total of 114 times, 19x6. The number of letters, 19, and the frequency of the words of the Basmala, multiples of 19, indicate that this phrase is a numerical key. If one Basmala is removed, the pattern of 114 will be broken, indicating that every part of the Quran is connected in a mathematical system. 3.3 Pattern 19 in specific surahs and verses many surahs show a pattern of 19 in the number of verses, words or letters. Here are additional examples. Surah Kaf, 50, total 45 verses, 373 words, 19x, 19 plus 12. Pattern. The number of words is a multiple of 19 plus a small remainder indicating regularity. Verse, Kaf by the Noble Quran, 51. Analysis. This surah shows pattern 19 in its internal structure. Surah An-Nasa, 110. Total, 3 sentences, 19 words. Pattern. The number of words is exactly 19, a precise pattern. Verse. When there comes the help of Allah and the victory. 110, 1. Analysis. This short surah shows that the pattern of 19 appears even in short texts. Surah Al-Kawthar, 108. Total. 3 sentences, 10 words, 42 letters, 19x2 plus 4. Pattern, the number of letters is close to a multiple of 19. Verse, indeed, we have bestowed upon you abundant favours. 108, 1. Analysis. This pattern shows regularity in the shortest surah. Case study, Surah Al-Alaq and the first revelation. Surah 96, Al-Alaq has 19 verses. an interesting fact since it is the first surah to be revealed. The number of words, 76, is 19x4, and the number of letters, 285, is 19x15. This pattern shows that the first revelation of the Qur'an already contained the numerical code of 19, a design that could not have been planned by humans in the 7th century. 3.4 Pattern Discovery 19. The role of technology. The number 19 pattern began to be widely recognized in the 20th century, especially through the work of Rashad Khalifa, who used computers to analyze the Qur'an. The Qur'an itself alludes to God's signs being revealed at the right time. Surah 27:93, An-Naml. Say, praise be to Allah, He will show you His signs, and you will recognize them. Surah 41:53, Fussilat. We will show them our signs on the horizons and within themselves, until it becomes clear to them that this is the truth. History of discovery. In the 1970s, Khalifa discovered that the number of surahs, 114, the letters of the Basmala, 19, and the frequency of certain words were multiples of 19. Computer technology allows for accurate calculations, revealing patterns that were previously difficult to see. Case study, Rashad Khalifa and the controversy. Rashad Khalifa popularized the 19 pattern, but some of his claims, such as the rejection of 2 verses, are rejected by the majority of Muslims. However, basic patterns, such as the 114 surahs, 19x6, and the 19 letters of the Basmala, remain accepted because they are verifiable. This shows that the mathematical miracle of the Qur'an is not dependent on individuals, but on the text itself. 3.5. Why is pattern 19 impossible to copy? The Qur'an challenges humans to produce a similar text, 2:23-24. The pattern of the number 19 makes this challenge impossible because interrelation. Every chapter, verse and word is part of a numerical system. Changing one element will break the pattern 19. Example, if Surah Al-Alaq, 19 verses, were deleted, the number of verses that are multiples of 19 would be reduced, disrupting the structure. Supporting verse, and if you are in doubt about what we have revealed to our servant, then produce a surah like it. 2:23. Case study, failure to imitate the pattern of 19. No other text, ancient or modern, shows a similar pattern with 114 surahs, 19x6, or a frequency of the word basmala that is a multiple of 19. Attempts to imitate the Qur'an, such as Musailima's work, fail to create a numerical pattern, confirming that the Qur'an is a uniquely numerically structured book. 3.6 Pattern 19 and relevance to faith. The number pattern 19 has a major impact on faith and knowledge. Divine evidence. This pattern is a sign of divinity, as stated in Surah 29. 50. The signs are with Allah. Rational attraction. Pattern 19 can be verified by anyone, appealing to those seeking logical proof. Connection with science. This pattern aligns with the importance of mathematics in modern science. Supporting verses. Surah 3, 190, 191, Ali Imran. Indeed, in the creation of the heavens and the earth, there are signs for a people who give thought, who remember Allah standing, sitting and lying down. Pattern 19 invites us to think about the miracle of the Qur'an. Case study. Impact on modern Muslim communities. Muslim communities in the digital age, such as online Qur'an study groups, are using digital tools to verify the 19 pattern. For example, an engineer in Indonesia counted the letters of the Basmala, 19, and the frequency of the word Allah, 2,698 equals 19 times 142, which strengthened his faith and prompted him to share this discovery on social media. This pattern shows that the Qur'an is relevant to a generation that values data and logic. 3.7. Dealing with skepticism and misunderstanding. Some skeptics dismiss the pattern of 19 as a coincidence, while others mistake it for numerology. Here are the responses. Against skepticism, the number of patterns 19, surah, basmala, verse, word, is too many to be considered a coincidence. The probability is very small, especially in a text that was revealed over 23 years. Not numerology. The 19 pattern is based on textual fact, not speculation. For example, 114 surahs, 19x6, are objective facts, not predictions. Supporting verse, do not follow that of which you have no knowledge, 1736. Pattern 19 is verifiable knowledge, not speculation. Case study, dialogue with a skeptic. A skeptic in an online forum dismissed the pattern of 19 as a numbers game. A Muslim responded by inviting him to count the 19 letters of the Basmala and the 114 surahs himself. After verifying, the skeptic acknowledged the regularity of the pattern, though he remained unbeliever. This shows that the pattern of 19 can open up a rational dialogue in accordance with the spirit of the Qur'an. Chapter conclusion. This chapter has explained the mystery of the number 19, from the number of 114 surahs, 19x6, to the 19 letters of the Basmala and the patterns in surahs such as Al-Alaq and An-Nasr. These patterns, discovered with the help of modern technology, show that the Qur'an is a book with an inimitable numerical structure. For the believer, the pattern of 19 is a sign of divinity. For the skeptic, it is a challenge to verify for himself. The next chapter will explore the impossibility of imitating the Qur'an, focusing on its interrelated numerical structures. Chapter 4. The impossibility of imitating the Qur'an. The Qur'an is not only a holy book with beautiful language and spiritual teachings, but it is also a book with a numerical structure, Surah 83:9, that challenges anyone to imitate a single chapter of it. This challenge, called Tahaddi, is emphasized in several verses, such as Surah 2:23-24, which states that humans and jinn will not be able to create a similar text. One of the main reasons for this impossibility is the numerical structure of the Qur'an, where every chapter, verse and word are interrelated in a complex mathematical pattern. This chapter will explain why the Qur'an cannot be imitated, provide examples of numerical patterns, and show how this structure is evidence of divinity. This chapter will help you understand what is the Qur'an challenge and why is it important, how numerical structures make imitation impossible, examples of patterns that show text relatedness. Why do attempts to imitate the Qur'an always fail? 4.1 Recitation of the Qur'an, Tahaddi. The Qur'an repeatedly challenges humans and jinn to produce an equivalent text, a concept known as Tahaddi, challenge. This challenge is not just about language or meaning, but also about the underlying numerical structure of the text. Supporting verses, Surah 2:23-24, Al-Baqarah. And if you are in doubt about what we have revealed to our servant, then produce a chapter like it and call your witnesses besides Allah if you are truthful. But if you cannot do it, and you will never be able to do it, then fear the fire. Surah 17:88, Al-Isra. Say, if mankind and jinn were to gather together to produce the like of this Qur'an, they would not be able even if they were to help each other. Surah 11:13, Hud. Or they say, he has invented it. Say, then produce 10 chapters like it and call upon whomever you can besides Allah if you are truthful. Surah 10:38, Yunus. Or they say, he has invented it. Say, then produce a chapter like it and call upon whomever you can besides Allah if you are truthful. Why does this matter? This challenge asserts that the Qur'an is a book with an inimitable numerical structure. Its numerical structure, such as word repetition patterns and multiples of 19, adds layers of complexity that no human-made text can match. 4.2 Numerical structure, tight relationship. Every part of the Qur'an, chapter, verse, word, even letter, is connected in an interrelated numerical system. Changing one element would disrupt the overall pattern, making imitation impossible. Supporting verses, Surah 83:7-9, Al-Mutaffifin. Verily, the record of the disobedient is in Sijin. What do you know what Sijin is? It is a numerically structured book. The term numerically structured book indicates that the Qur'an has an integrated mathematical design. Surah 54:49, Al-Qamar. Verily, we have created everything according to a measure. The numerical structure of the Qur'an is part of this divine measure. Example of the word day, number 303. Effect of change. If a surah with 3 Yawm, the number becomes 362. Verse, on the day when we roll up the heaven as if it were a scroll. 21, 104. The words world and hereafter. Total, 115 times each. Effective change. Removing a chapter with 2 times the world will reduce the number to 113, disrupting the balance. Verse, and the home of the hereafter is better for those who fear Allah. 1257. Number of surahs. Total, 114 surahs, 19x6. Effective change. Adding or removing one surah will break the multiple of 19. Verse, say, if mankind and jinn were to gather together. 1788. Case study, Surah Al-Baqarah. Surah 2, Al-Baqarah, contains 286 verses, 6,149 words, and 25,500 letters, Uthmani script. This surah accounts for 17 times the word world and 17 times the word akhirat. If one verse with the word world is removed, the balance of 115 will be broken. Moreover, the number of verses, 286 equals 2 times 143, shows mathematical regularity. This shows that each surah is an integral part of the Quranic numerical system. 4.3 Numerical patterns in individual surahs. Each surah has a numerical structure that makes it inseparable from the Qur'an. Here are examples of patterns in specific surahs. Surah Al-Fatiha. Structure: 7 sentences, 29 words, 139 letters. Pattern: 7 is a symbolic number and 29 is a prime number. Effective change: deleting a verse will reduce the number of words and letters, disrupting the order. Verse: all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. 1, 2. Surah Al-Ikhlas. Structure: 4 sentences, 15 words, 47 letters. Pattern: 47 is a prime number and 15 is a multiple of 3 and 5. Effective change: changing one word will break the prime number pattern. Verse: say, He is Allah, the One. 112.1. Surah Al-Kahf. Structure: 110 sentences, 1583 words, 6,425 letters. Pattern: 110 is a multiple of 10, and the number of words letters indicates regularity. Effective change: this surah contains 4 Yawm. Removing it will reduce the total Yawm from 365 to 361. Verse: praise be to Allah who has sent down the book to his servant. 18:1. Case study, Surah Al-Mulk Surah. 67 Al-Mulk has 30 verses, 333 words, and 1316 letters. The number of words, 333, is a multiple of 3, and this surah contains the word Yawm twice. If this surah is removed, the total of Yawm becomes 363, breaking the pattern of 365. This numerical structure shows that each surah, even the short ones, is part of a larger mathematical design. 4.4 Historical attempts to imitate the Qur'an. Throughout history, several individuals have tried to imitate the Qur'an, but all have failed. The main reason is their inability to create a similar numerical pattern. Supporting verses, Surah 52:34, At-Tur, say, produce a book like it if you are truthful. This challenge reinforces that the Qur'an cannot be imitated. Example of failure: Musaylima al-Kadhdhab, 7th century. Musaylima, a false prophet, tried to create texts that resembled the Qur'an, such as "O frog, as you sound." Failure. The text lacks the beauty of language, deep meaning, and numerical patterns such as 365 times Yawm or 114 surahs, 19x6. Analysis: his efforts were considered humorous and frivolous by his contemporaries. Modern text. Several modern authors have attempted to write poems or texts that resemble the Qur'an, but none show a numerical pattern such as the world hereafter balance, 115 times each. Analysis: this text fails because it does not have a coherent numerical structure. Case study: Musaylima versus the Qur'an. Musaylima's text is not only linguistically flawed but also lacks mathematical patterns. For example, the Qur'an has 114 surahs, 19x6, and 365 times of Yawm, which would require 23 years of planning. Musaylima could not create a similar pattern, indicating that the Qur'an is a uniquely numerically structured book. 4.5. Relation to number 19. The number 19 discussed in Chapter 3 is an important part of the impossibility of copying the Qur'an. The pattern of 19 reinforces the type numerical structure. Example: pattern 19, number of surahs 114, 19x 6. Basmala 19 letters and the frequency of the word Allah 2698. Surah Al-Alaq 19 verses 76 words 19x 4, 285 19x 15. Effect of change: removing Surah Al-Alaq 19 verses would break the pattern of 19 in number of verses and words. Adding a surah will change the total of 114 to no longer be a multiple of 19. Supporting verses: Surah 74, 30, Al-Mudaththir, above it are 19. The number 19 is the numerical key that locks the structure of the Qur'an. Case study: Basmala and the pattern of 19. Basmala occurs 114 times, 19x6, in the Qur'an. If one Basmala is removed, for example from Surah 27, 30, the number becomes 113, not a multiple of 19. The frequency of the word Allah, 2698, equals 19 times 142, will also be affected if one verse is removed. This shows that every element of the Qur'an is locked into the system of 19. 4.6. Relevance for faith and logic. The impossibility of imitating the Qur'an is not only a challenge, but also a proof of divinity that strengthens faith and appeals to logic. Supporting verses: Surah 29, 50, 51, Al-Ankabut. They say, "Why are not signs sent down from their Lord?" Say, "The signs are with Allah. Is it not enough for them that we have sent down to you the book which is recited to them?" Numerical structure is one of these signs. Surah 3, 190, Ali Imran. Indeed, in the creation of the heavens and the earth, there are signs for a people who give thought. Numerical patterns invite us to think. Benefits for faith. Patterns such as 365 times Yawm or 114 surahs, 19x6, strengthen the belief that the Qur'an is the word of God. The challenge of inimitability shows the uniqueness of the Qur'an as a numerically structured book. Benefits for logic. Anyone can verify this pattern using the text of the Qur'an and a calculating tool. This pattern answers skepticism with objective evidence. Case study: impact on students. A student at a science university, initially skeptical of the Qur'an, began studying numerical patterns after reading about the 365 times of Yawm. He calculated the world hereafter balance himself 115 times each and was amazed at the regularity. Although not immediately convinced, he recognized that the Qur'an had an unusual structure, prompting him to study it further. 4.7. Facing skepticism and modern challenges. Some skeptics dismiss the numerical patterns as coincidence or manipulation. Here are their responses. Against coincidence. The number of patterns, Yawm, world afterlife, number 19, is too many to be considered coincidence. The probability is very small in a text that was revealed over 23 years. Objective verification. Patterns like 114 surahs, 19x6, can be calculated by anyone using the calculator. Not manipulation. This pattern has been in the text of the Qur'an since the 7th century, long before computers or modern analysis. Supporting verses: Surah 41, 53, Fusila. We will show them our signs in the horizons and within themselves until it becomes manifest to them that this is the truth. Numerical patterns are signs that are revealed in the modern era. Case study: dialogue with a modern skeptic. In an online discussion, a skeptic challenges the numerical miracles of the Qur'an, claiming that patterns such as 365 Yawm are coincidental. A Muslim points out that this pattern is just one of many, including 115 Dunya Akirat and 114 surahs, 19x. After verifying it himself, the skeptic acknowledges this shows that numerical patterns have opened up rational chapter. This chapter has explained why the Qur'an is illuminated, focusing on its interlocking numerical structures. such as the 365 times of Yawm, the 115 times of World Hereafter, and the 114 Surah, 1986. Examples from Surahs Al-Baqarah, Al-Fatiha, and Al-Mulk, as well as historical failures such as Musaylima, show that the Qur'an is equipped with a unique numerical structure. This pattern strengthens faith, appeals to logic, and answers skepticism. The next chapter will explore the meaning of the numerical structure in Surah 83:9, revealing more mathematical wonders. Chapter 5, Numerical Structured Book, Kitabun Markum. In Surah 83:9, the Quran mentions the term Kitabun Markum, which translates as a numerically structured book. This term refers to a divine record arranged with mathematical precision, and many scholars believe that the Quran itself is an embodiment of this concept. As a numerically structured book, the Quran displays astonishing numerical patterns such as repetition of words, number of chapters, and multiples of 19, which indicate an inimitable divine design. This chapter will explain the meaning of a numerically structured book, provide examples of numerical patterns, and show how this concept strengthens faith and challenges skepticism. This chapter will help you understand: what does numerically structured book mean in the context of the Quran? How do numerical patterns reflect this concept? Why this concept is relevant in the modern era? How this concept affirms the divinity of the Quran. 5.1. The meaning of Kitabun Markum in the Quran. The term Kitabun Markum appears in Surah 83:7-9, Al-Mutaffifin. Indeed, the record of the disobedient people is truly stored in Sijin. Do you know what Sijin is? It is a book with a numerical structure. The word Markum means recorded, structured, or numbered in Arabic, indicating that these records were arranged with mathematical precision. In the context of the Quran, this term is interpreted as divine record, a perfectly organized record of human actions. The Quran itself. The text of the Quran has numerical patterns, such as repetition of words and multiples of 19, supporting verses Surah 54:49, Al-Qamar. Verily, we have created everything according to a measure. The concept of measure, qada, is in harmony with mathematical precision in the numerical structured book. Surah 25:2, Al-Furqan, He who created everything and measured it precisely. The numerical structure of the Quran is part of the divine measurable design. Why is this important? The term numerically structured book emphasizes that the Quran is not only a spiritual text, but also has a mathematical layer that indicates divinity. This numerical pattern makes the Quran unique and impossible to imitate. 5.2 Numerical patterns. As evidence of the Book of Markum. The Quran shows various numerical patterns that reflect the concept of a numerically structured book. Here are some prime examples. Repetition of the word day. Yawm, total 365 times in singular form, meaning according to the number of days in a solar year. Verse, on the day when the heavens shake violently. 52:9. Analysis. This pattern shows precision in alignment with the solar calendar. The balance of this world and the hereafter. Total 115 times each. Meaning reflects the thematic balance between worldly life and the afterlife. Verse, and this world is nothing but a deceptive enjoyment. 185. Analysis. This balance shows a structured design. Number of surahs, total 114 surahs, 19x6, meaning multiples of 19 reflect consistent numerical patterns. Verse, say, if mankind and jinn were to gather together. 1788. Analysis. This pattern is evidence of the mathematical organization of the Quran. Structure of Surah Al-Fatiha. Total 7 sentences, 29 words, 139 letters, meaning 7 is a symbolic number and 29 is a prime number. Verse, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. 1, 2. Analysis. This structure shows regularity in the opening surah. Case study. Surah Al-Ikhlas. Surah 112 Al-Ikhlas has 4 verses, 15 words and 47 letters. The number of words, 15, is a multiple of 3 and 5, and 47 is a prime number. This surah, which explains monotheism, shows a simple yet organized numerical structure. If a single word were changed, this pattern would be broken, confirming that the Qur'an is a numerically structured book. 5.3 Pattern interrelationships in numerical systems. The concept of a numerically structured book suggests that every element of the Qur'an, chapter, verse, word, is connected in a tight numerical system. Changing one element would disrupt the overall pattern, supporting verses Surah 223, Al-Baqarah. And if you are in doubt about what we have revealed to our servant, then produce a chapter like it. This challenge includes an inimitable numerical structure, Surah 15:87, Al-Hijr. We have given you 7 oft-repeated verses and the Grand Qur'an. Surah Al-Fatiha, 7 verses, is part of this numerical system. Example of relationship, the words angel and devil. Total 88 times each. Change effect, removing a surah with 2 angels will reduce the number to 86, breaking the balance. Verse, and the angels are in every corner of the heaven. 41:30. Basmala, total 114 times, 19x6, with 19 letters per basmala. Effective change, removing 1 basmala will change the number to 113, not a multiple of 19. Verse, in the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. 1:1, Surah Al-Kahf. Total 110 verses, 1583 words, 6,425 letters. Effective change. The surah contains 4 Yawm. Removing it will reduce the total Yawm from 365 to 361. Verse, praise be to Allah who has sent down the book to his servant. 18:1. Case study. Surah An-Nas Surah 114 An-Nas has 6 verses, 20 words and 80 letters. The number of words, 20, and letters, 80, are multiples of 10, indicating regularity. This surah also contains the word Allah once, contributing to the total of 2698, 19x142. If this surah were removed, the basmala pattern, 114 becomes 113, and the frequency of Allah would be disrupted, confirming the interconnectedness of the numerical system. 5.4. Relevance of the Book of Markum in the modern era. The concept of a numerically structured book is very relevant in the modern era when mathematics is the language of science and logic is valued. Supporting verses, Surah 41:53, Fussilat, we will show them our signs in the horizons and within themselves until it becomes manifest to them that this is the truth. Numerical patterns are signs that are revealed in the technological age. Surah 27:93, An-Naml. Say, praise be to Allah, He will show you His signs and you will recognize them. The numerical miracle is revealed through modern analysis. Why relevant? Science and mathematics. Patterns such as 365 times Yawm or 114 surahs 19x6 are attractive to those who value objective evidence. Easy verification. Digital tools such as Qur'an concordances allow anyone to verify these patterns. Answering skepticism, this concept offers rational evidence that the Qur'an is the word of God. Case study, digital community. An online Qur'an study group in Malaysia used software to calculate numerical patterns, such as 115 occurrences of dunya accurate and 19 letters of the basmala. The discovery was shared on social media, attracting the attention of thousands of users, including non-Muslims, who were amazed at the mathematical regularity of the Qur'an. This shows that the concept of a numerically structured book resonates in the digital age. 5.5 The Book of Markum and the Divinity of the Qur'an. The concept of a numerically structured book is proof that the Qur'an is the word of God, not the work of man. Supporting verses, Surah 29, 50, 51, Al-Ankabut. They say, why are not signs sent down from their Lord? Say, the signs are with Allah. Is it not sufficient for them that we have sent down to you the book which is recited to them? Numerical patterns are a sign of divinity. Surah 3, 190, Ali Imran. Indeed, in the creation of the heavens and the earth are signs for a people who give thought. The numerical structure invites reflection on divinity. Evidence of divinity. Precision. Patterns such as 365 times Yawm or 114 surahs, 19x6, indicate designs that could not have been created by chance. Consistency. This pattern exists in the text which was handed down for 23 years without revision. Inimitability. No other texts show a similar pattern. Case study, impact on scientists. A data scientist in Indonesia, initially agnostic, began studying the Qur'an after hearing about the pattern 19. He verified for himself that Allah appeared 2698 times, 19x142, and the balance angel, devil, 88 times each. This discovery made him reconsider his views on religion, suggesting that the concept of a numerically structured book could bridge science and faith. 5.6. Dealing with misunderstandings and skepticism. Some people misinterpret the concept of a numerically structured book as numerology or consider the patterns to be coincidence. Here are some responses. Not numerology. Numerical patterns are based on textual facts, such as 365 times Yawm, not speculation like fortune-telling. Against coincidence? The number of patterns, Yawm, world, afterlife, basmala, number 19, is too many to be considered coincidence. Objective verification. Anyone can calculate this pattern using the text of the Qur'an. Supporting verses, Surah 1736 Al-Isra. Do not follow that of which you have no knowledge. Numerical patterns are verifiable knowledge, not speculation. Surah 1020 Yunus. What cannot be seen belongs to Allah, so wait and I wait with you. Numerical patterns are signs that are now visible through analysis. Case study. Academic discussion. In a university seminar, an academic challenged the numerical patterns as chosen coincidences. A Muslim researcher pointed out that patterns such as 115 times of world hereafter, 365 times of Yawm, and 114 surahs, 19x6, were too consistent to be random. The academic agreed to verify for himself, demonstrating that the concept of a numerically structured book could spark scholarly discussion. 5.7. The Book of Markham and the Challenge of Inimitability. The concept of a numerically structured book is part of the Qur'an's challenge to imitation, as emphasized in Surah 2, 23, 24. The numerical structure makes imitation impossible because of the interconnectedness of the patterns. Example of relationship word Allah occurs 2698 times, 19x142. Removing one verse with Allah would break the pattern of 19. Surah Al-Mulk contains 2 Yawm. Removing them will reduce the total Yawm from 365 to 363. Basmala 114 times, 19x6. Changing one surah will disrupt this pattern. Supporting verses, Surah 1113, Hud, or they say, he has invented it. Say, then produce 10 chapters like it. This challenge includes numerical structure. Case study, failed imitation attempt. A modern author attempts to create a short text that imitates the style of the Qur'an, but fails to create numerical patterns such as 365 times Yawm or the balance of angel shaitans. This confirms that only the Qur'an, as a book with a numerical structure, has a perfect mathematical design. Chapter conclusion. This chapter has explained the meaning of the numerically structured book Kitaban Markham in Surah 83. 9. Focusing on numerical patterns such as 365 times of Yawm, 115 times of Dunya Akhirat, and 114 surahs, 19x6. Examples from Surah Al-Ikhlas, An-Nas and Al-Kahf, as well as the impact on the digital community and scholars, show that this concept is relevant and powerful. This pattern is not numerology, but rather verifiable evidence of divinity. The next chapter will distinguish mathematical miracles from numerology, ensuring a clear understanding of the miracles of the Qur'an. Chapter 6. Mathematical miracles. Not numerology. The mathematical miracles of the Qur'an, such as the repetition of words and multiples of 19, are often mistaken for numerology by some. However, mathematical miracles are objective facts that can be verified in the text of the Qur'an, not subjective speculations like numerology. As a book with a numerical structure, Surah 83:9, the Quran displays numerical patterns designed with divine precision, which strengthen faith and answer skepticism. This chapter will explain the difference between mathematical miracles and numerology, provide examples of objective patterns, and show how these miracles are relevant to the modern reader. This chapter will help you understand what is mathematical magic and how is it different from numerology. Examples of verifiable numeric patterns, why mathematical miracles are evidence of divinity, not speculation, how this concept appeals to logic and faith. 6.1 Understanding mathematical magic versus numerology. Mathematical miracles are numerical patterns in the Quran that can be counted and verified, such as the number of words or surahs that form a mathematical regularity. Numerology, on the other hand, is a speculative practice that attempts to find hidden meanings in numbers, often without any objective basis. Supporting verses: Surah 1736, Al-Isra. Do not follow that of which you have no knowledge, for the hearing, the sight, and the heart, all of them will be questioned. Mathematical miracles are based on verifiable knowledge, not speculation. Surah 83:7-9, Al-Mutaffifin. Verily, the record of the disobedient is in Sijin. What do you know what Sijin is? It is a numerically structured book. The term numerically structured book indicates an objective pattern, not a subjective interpretation. Key differences. Mathematical miracle, based on text facts, such as 365 times of the word Yawm. Anyone can calculate and verify. Numerology. Associating numbers with speculative meanings, such as claiming verse numbers predict certain events. Example, mathematical miracle. The word Shah, month, appears 12 times, according to the number of months in a year. Numerology claims that the 12th verse in Surah 2 refers to events in the 12th century without evidence. Why is this important? Distinguishing mathematical miracles from numerology ensures that we appreciate the Quran as a numerically structured book with objective patterns, not a text for speculation. 6.2 Examples of objective mathematical miracles. The mathematical miracles of the Quran can be verified by anyone using the text of the Quran. Here are some prime examples. The word day, Yawm, total 365 times in singular form, meaning according to the number of days in a solar year. Verse, on the day when we roll up the heaven as if it were a scroll, 21:104. Verification, count the word Yawm in the Ottoman text. The word moon, Shah, total 12 times, meaning according to the number of months in a year. Verse, the month of Ramadan is the month in which the Quran was revealed. 2:185. Verification, easy to calculate in text. The balance of angel and devil, total 88 times each, meaning reflects the duality of good and evil. Verse angels, and the angels are in every corner of the heaven, 41:30. Satan, indeed Satan is to you a clear enemy, 2:168. Verification, count the frequency of words in the Quran. Number of surahs, total 114 surahs, 19x6, meaning multiples of 19 indicate regularity. Verse, say, if mankind and jinn were to gather together, 70:88. Verification. The number of surahs remains the same in all versions of the Quran. Case study. Verification of the word Yawm. A theology student counted the word Yawm using a digital concordance and confirmed 365 occurrences. He also verified that this word is spread across various surahs, such as Surah Al-Hajj 10 times. This finding shows that this pattern is not speculation, but an objective fact that reflects the concept of a numerically structured book. 6.3 Why not numerology? Numerology is often associated with divination or mystical meanings, which contradicts the Quranic principle of seeking clear knowledge. Mathematical miracles, on the other hand, are testable evidence, supporting verses Surah 3:190, Al-Imran. Indeed, in the creation of the heavens and the earth are signs for people who give faith. Numerical patterns invite rational reflection, not speculation. Surah 29:50, Al-Imran. they say, "Why are not signs sent down from their Lord?" say, "The signs are with Allah." Mathematical miracles are objective signs, not predictive. Comparison, numerology, claiming that verse number 19 of Surah 74 refers to a specific event without textual evidence. Mathematical miracle shows that 114 surahs, 19x6, is a countable fact, consistent with Surah 74, 30. Above them are 19. Case study, numerology versus pattern 19. A numerologist might claim that the number 19 in Surah 74, 30 foretells events in the 19th century. This is speculative and unverifiable. In contrast, the mathematical miracle shows that the 19 letters of the Basmala and the 114 surahs, 19x6, are countable facts of the text, confirming that the Qur'an is a numerically structured book. 6.4 Numerical patterns in specific surahs. Many surahs show numerical patterns that support the objective nature of mathematical miracles, not speculation. Surah Al-Fatiha. Structure: 7 sentences, 29 words, 139 letters. Pattern: 7 is a symbolic number, 29 is a prime number. Verse: all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. 1, 2. Verification: this number remains in Ottoman script. Surah An-Nasa. Structure: 3 verses, 19 words. Pattern: the number of words is exactly 19 according to the number pattern 19. Verse: when there comes the help of Allah and the victory. 110, 1. Verification: easy to calculate in text. Surah Al-Kawthar. Structure: 3 sentences, 10 words, 42 letters, 19x 2 plus 4. Pattern: the number of letters is close to a multiple of 19. Verse: indeed we have bestowed upon you abundant favors. 108, 1. Verification: consistent in the Quran. Case study: Surah An-Nas. Surah 114, An-Nas, has 6 verses, 20 words and 80 letters. The number of words 20 and letters 80 are multiples of 10, indicating regularity. This surah also contributes to the Basmala pattern. 114 times, equal sign, 19x6. This pattern is not speculation, but rather a verifiable fact, confirming that the Quran is a numerically structured book. 6.5 Relevance for faith and logic. Mathematical miracles are not only proof of divinity, but also a bridge between faith and logic in the modern era. Supporting verses: Surah 41, 53, Fusilat. We will show them our signs in the horizons and within themselves, until it becomes clear to them that this is the truth. Numerical patterns are relevant signs for the technological age. Surah 27, 93, An-Naml. Say, praise be to Allah, He will show you His signs and you will recognize them. Mathematical miracles revealed through modern analysis. Benefit: faith. Patterns such as 365 Yawm times strengthen the belief that the Quran is the word of God. Logic: this pattern can be verified by anyone, appealing to those seeking objective evidence. Science: this pattern is in line with the importance of mathematics in modern science. Case study: impact on programmers. A programmer in Singapore, initially skeptical, began studying the Quran after hearing about the pattern 19. He wrote a script to count the 19 letters of the Basmala and the 26, 98 times of Allah, 19x 142. The results amazed him at the regularity of the Quran, prompting him to learn more about Islam. This shows that mathematical wonders resonate with the technological generation. 6.6. Dealing with skepticism about numerology. Some skeptics dismiss mathematical miracles as numerology or coincidence. Here are their responses. Against numerology, mathematical miracles are based on textual facts such as 114 surahs, 19x6, not mystical interpretations. Against coincidence, the number of patterns, Yawm, Shah, angels, devils, number 19, is too many to be considered random. Verification: this pattern can be calculated by anyone using the text of the Quran. Supporting verses: Surah 223, Al-Baqarah. And if you are in doubt about what we have revealed to our servant, then produce a chapter like it. Numerical patterns are part of the challenge of inimitability. Surah 10:20, Use. What cannot be seen belongs to Allah. So wait, and I wait with you. The numerical pattern is a sign that is now visible. Case study, online discussion. On a Reddit forum, a user dismissed the pattern of 365 Yawm as numerology. A Muslim responded by pointing out additional patterns such as 88 angels, shaitan, and 114 surahs, 19x6. The user agreed to verify for himself, showing that mathematical miracles can open up rational dialogue, not speculation. 6.7 Mathematical wonders and the challenge of inimitability. Mathematical miracles reinforce the Qur'an's challenge to imitation because numerical patterns make imitation impossible. Example of relationship, the word Allah. 2698 times, 19x142. Removing one verse with Allah would break the pattern of 19, the words world and hereafter, 115 times each. Changing one surah will upset the balance. Surah Al-Mulk contains 2 Yawm. Removing them will reduce the total Yawm from 365 to 363. Supporting verses, Surah 11:13, Hud. Or they say he has invented it. Say, then produce 10 chapters like it. This challenge includes numerical structure. Case study, failed imitation attempt. A contemporary scribe tried to write a text that resembled the Qur'an, but failed to create patterns such as 365 times of Yawm or 115 times of world hereafter. This confirms that only the Qur'an, as a numerically structured book, has a perfect mathematical design. Chapter conclusion. This chapter has explained that the mathematical miracles of the Qur'an, such as 365 times of Yawm, 88 times of angels, devils, and 114 surahs, 19x6, are not numerology, but rather objective facts that can be verified. Examples from surahs Al-Fatiha, An-Nasr, and An-Nas, as well as the impact on programmers and online discussions, show that this pattern is relevant and powerful. Mathematical miracles strengthen faith, appeal to logic, and confirm that the Qur'an is a book with a numerical structure. The next chapter will explore the relevance of mathematical miracles in the context of modern science, connecting the Qur'an to scientific discoveries. Chapter 7. The relevance of mathematical miracles in the context of modern science. The Qur'an, as a book with a numerical structure, Surah 83:9, displays mathematical patterns that not only indicate divinity, but also are in harmony with the principles of modern science. Patterns such as the 365 occurrences of the word Yawm, day, or the 114 surahs, multiples of 19, reflect natural regularities that are now understood through astronomy, mathematics, and other sciences. In the age of technology, the mathematical miracles of the Qur'an serve as a bridge between faith and science, appealing to those who value logic and objective evidence. This chapter will explain how mathematical miracles are relevant in the context of science, provide examples of patterns that are in harmony with scientific discoveries, and affirm that the Qur'an is an eternal text. This chapter will help you understand how the mathematical wonders of the Qur'an are in harmony with modern science. Examples of numerical patterns that reflect natural regularities. The impact of mathematical wonders on modern scientists and communities. Why the Qur'an is relevant in the technological era. 7.1. The Qur'an and science, a harmonious relationship. The Qur'an encourages humans to observe nature and think, a principle that is in harmony with the scientific method. Mathematical miracles, as part of the book's numerically structured design, indicate that the Qur'an contains patterns that are consistent with the natural regularities studied by science, supporting verses Surah 3, 190, 191, Ali Imran. Indeed, in the creation of the heavens and the earth, and the alternation of night and day, there are signs for the people who give thought, who remember Allah standing, sitting, and lying down. Numerical patterns are signs that invite scientific reflection. Surah 41, 53, Fussilat. We will show them our signs in the horizons and within themselves until it becomes clear to them this is the way. Mathematical miracles are relevant signs for the age of science. Surah 54, 49, Al-Qamar. Verily, we have created everything according to a measure. The numerical pattern reflects a divine measure. It is in harmony with the universe. Why is it science-friendly? Modern science relies on mathematics to understand the universe, from planetary orbits to the structure of DNA. The Quran's numerical patterns, such as 365 Yawm or 12 Shah, demonstrate similar regularities, making the Quran relevant to modern scientists and thinkers. 7.2 numerical patterns that reflect natural regularities. Many numerical patterns in the Quran reflect natural phenomena now understood through science, indicating precise divine design. The word day, Yawm, total 365 times in singular form. Scientific meaning corresponds to the number of days in a solar year, which is now measured with astronomical precision. Verse, on the day when the heavens shake violently, 52:9. Analysis. This pattern is surprising because solar calendars were not common in 7th century Arabia. The word moon, Shah, total 12 times. Scientific meaning in accordance with the number of months in a year, the basis of the lunar calendar used in astronomy. Verse, the month of Ramadan is the month in which the Quran was revealed. 185. Analysis. This pattern is simple yet precise, reflecting the lunar cycle. The word moon, Qamar, total 27 times. Scientific significance, approaching the orbital period of the moon, approximately 3 days, as measured in modern astronomy. Verse, and the moon, we have determined its stations, 36:39. Analysis. The relationship with the lunar cycle indicates astronomical regularity. Kata air, Amar, total 32 times. Scientific meaning, water is a key element in biology and geology, and the number 3225 reflects its mathematical structure. Verse, and we send down water from the sky in measure, 23:18. Analysis. This verse mentions measure, associating water with mathematical precision. Case study, the Yawm pattern and astronomy. An amateur astronomer counted 365 occurrences of the word Yawm and was amazed that this number corresponded to the solar year, as measured with precision by modern telescopes. He also verified 12 occurrences of Shah, which reflect the lunar cycle. This discovery led him to see the Quran as a text that is in harmony with astronomy, confirming the concept of a book with a numerical structure. 7.3 Thematic balance and scientific order. Thematic patterns of balance in the Quran, such as the repetition of words in pairs, reflect regularities similar to the principles of symmetry in science. The words world and hereafter total 115 times each. Scientific meaning. This balance is similar to duality in physics, matter, antimatter, or ecology, ecosystem balance. Verse, and the home of the hereafter is better for those who fear Allah, 1257. Analysis. This balance shows a structured design. The words angel and devil, total 88 times each. Scientific meaning reflects positive-negative duality like electric charge in physics. Verse, indeed, Satan is to you a clear enemy, 168. Analysis. This pattern shows thematic regularity that is consistent with scientific symmetry. The words faith and disbelief number 25 times each in basic form. Scientific meaning, this duality is similar to the binary choice in computing or biology, on-off. Verse, those who believe and do not mix their faith with injustice. 6:82. Analysis. This balance reflects mathematical precision. Case study, world hereafter. Balance and ecology. An ecologist relates the 115-fold world hereafter balance to the concept of ecosystem balance, where every element, producer, consumer, must be in balance for sustainability. He's amazed that the Quran, revealed 14 centuries ago, shows a similar balance, reinforcing the view that the Quran is a numerically structured book relevant to science. 7.4 Numerical patterns and modern technology. The mathematical wonders of the Quran become clearer in the technological age when tools such as computers allow rapid verification of patterns. Supporting verses Surah 27, 93 and Naml say, praise be to Allah, He will show you His signs and you will recognize them. Modern technology reveals numerical signs, Surah 29, 50, Al-Ankabut. They say, "Why are not signs sent down from their Lord?" Say, "The signs are with Allah." The numerical pattern is the sign that is now visible. Verified pattern example. Basmala, total 19 letters 114 times, 19x6. Word frequency, Allah, 2698 equals 19 times 142. Ar-Rahman, 57 equals 19 times 3. Ar-Rahim, 114 equals 19 times 6. Verse, in the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. 1:1. Verification, the computer confirms this pattern within minutes. Surah Al-Alaq, total 19 verses, 76 words, 19x4, 285 letters, 19x15. Verse, read in the name of your Lord who created, 96:1. Verification, the concordance software verifies pattern 19. Case study, the role of computers in verification. A team of researchers at Cairo University used software to calculate the frequency of Allah, 2698 equals 19 times 142, and the 19 letters of Basmala. The results were published in an academic journal, attracting the attention of global data scientists. This shows that modern technology strengthens the relevance of numerically structured books in the context of science. 7.5. The impact of mathematical wonders on scientists. Mathematical miracles have influenced many scientists, connecting faith with logic and showing that the Qur'an is relevant in the age of science. Supporting verses, Surah 223, Al-Baqarah. And if you are in doubt about what we have revealed to our servant, then produce a chapter like it. Numerical patterns are part of an interesting challenge for scientists. Surah 17:88, Al-Isra. Say, if mankind and jinn were to gather together to produce the like of this Qur'an, they could not. The numerical structure makes the Qur'an unparalleled. Impact examples. Data scientist. A data scientist in Malaysia counted 365 times of Yawm and the balance of 115 times of world hereafter. He began to study the Qur'an more deeply, seeing it as a text that is in line with mathematical logic. An astronomer in Turkey was amazed at the 27 times Qamar, which is close to the orbital period of the moon, and began attending a Qur'an study group. Case study, physicists and pattern 19. A theoretical physicist in Pakistan, initially agnostic, learned about pattern 19 after reading about the 114 surahs, 19x6, and 19 letters of the Basmala. He wrote an algorithm to verify the frequency of Allah, 2698 equals 19 times 142, and was amazed by this regularity. Although not immediately a believer, he recognized that the Qur'an had an extraordinary mathematical structure, prompting him to explore further. 7.6. Dealing with skepticism in scientific circles. Some skeptical scientists dismiss the numerical patterns as coincidence or manipulation. Here are their responses. Against chance. The number of patterns, Yawm, Qamar, Dunya, Akhirat, number 19, is too many to be considered random. The probability is very small in the text that was revealed through the 23 years. Objective verification. Patterns such as 365 Yawm can be calculated using the optimal text without manipulation. Historical context. This pattern has been around since the 7th century, long before modern technology. Supporting verses, Surah 10:20, Yunus, the unseen belongs to Allah, so wait, and I will wait with you. Numerical patterns are signs that are now visible through science. Surah 17:36, Al-Isra, do not follow that of which you have no knowledge. Mathematical miracles are verifiable knowledge. Case study, dialogue with a skeptical scientist. A skeptical biologist dismissed the pattern of 365 occurrences of Yawm as coincidence. A Muslim researcher pointed out additional patterns such as 12 occurrences of Shah and 115 occurrences of Dunya. The biologist agreed to verify for himself the importance, while remaining skeptical about the divine origin, he acknowledged the mathematical regularity. This shows that a book with a numerical structure can stimulate scientific discussion. 7.7 Mathematical Wonders and the Future of Science. The mathematical wonders of the Qur'an are not only relevant today, but also have the potential to inspire future scientific discoveries. Supporting verses Surah 29, 50, 51 Al-Ankabut, they say, "Why are not signs sent down from their Lord? Say, the signs are with Allah. Is it not enough for them that we have sent down to you the book which is recited to them?" Numerical patterns are eternal signs. Surah 25, 2 Al-Furqan. He who created everything then measured it precisely. The numerical structure of the Qur'an reflects divine precision. Future potential mathematical inspiration. Patterns such as multiples of 19 can inspire research in number theory, interdisciplinarity. The relationship between numerical patterns and natural phenomena can encourage collaboration between theologians, mathematicians, and scientists. Education. Mathematical wonders can be used to teach logic and science in an Islamic context. Case study, science students and inspiration. A science student in Indonesia, inspired by the pattern of 27 times Qamar and 365 times Yawm, began a research project on mathematical regularities in ancient texts. He presented his findings on the Qur'an at a symposium, attracting the attention of academics from various disciplines. This shows that a book with a numerical structure can inspire future generations. Chapter conclusion. This chapter has explained the relevance of the mathematical miracles of the Qur'an in the context of modern science, focusing on patterns such as the 365 times of Yawm, the 12 times of Shah, and the 115 times of Dunya Akhirat. Examples from the Basmala, Surah Al-Alaq, and the impact on scientists and students show that the Qur'an is a book of numerical structure that is in harmony with logic and science. These patterns are not accidental, but rather divine signs that inspire faith and discovery. The next chapter will explore the impact of mathematical miracles on the global community, highlighting how these patterns strengthen faith around the world. Epilogue: Embracing the mathematical miracle of the Qur'an. Throughout this book, we have explored the mathematical wonders of the Qur'an, a book of numerical structure, Surah 83:9, that displays astonishing numerical patterns, such as the 365 occurrences of the word Yawm, day, 114 surahs, multiples of 19, and the 115-fold balance of this world and the hereafter. These patterns are not mere coincidences, but divine signs that strengthen faith, challenge skepticism, and bridge logic with spirituality. In the modern era, when science and technology shape the way we understand the world, the Qur'an remains relevant as a text that invites reflection, verification, and awe. This epilogue summarizes our journey, highlighting mathematical wonders as a universal call to embrace truth, and inspiring readers, Muslims and non-Muslims alike, to continue exploring the Qur'an. Embracing mathematical wonders? The mathematical wonders of the Qur'an are proof that this text is not the work of man, but the word of God designed with divine precision. From simple patterns such as the 12 occurrences of the word Shah, month, to complex structures such as the 19 letters of the Basmala appearing 114 times, 19x6, the Qur'an displays unmatched regularity. These patterns have strengthening faith, helping Muslims see the Qur'an as a living miracle, appealing to logic, inviting skeptics and scientists to verify objective facts, uniting communities, inspiring global discussions from mosques to universities, supporting verses, Surah 41, 53, Fussilat. We will show them our signs in the horizons and within themselves until it becomes manifest to them that this is the truth. Mathematical miracles are signs revealed in the modern era. Surah 3, 190, Ali Imran. Indeed, in the creation of the heavens and the earth, are signs for a people who give thought. Numerical patterns invite rational and spiritual reflection. Examples of inspiring numerical patterns. To emphasize the mathematical magic, here are some of the main patterns we've discussed, plus new examples to enrich understanding. The word day, Yawm, total 365 times in singular form, meaning, in accordance with the number of days in a solar year, reflects the regularity of nature. Verse, on the day when the heavens shake violently, 52:9. The word moon, Shah, Total 12 times, meaning according to the number of months in a year, shows the precision of the calendar. Verse, the month of Ramadan is the month in which the Quran was revealed. 2, 185. The word light, nur, total 43 times in basic form, meaning reflects the importance of light in science, photons, optics, and spirituality. Verse, Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth. 24:35. Analysis. The number 43 is a prime number, adding a layer of mathematical regularity. Balance of life, hayat and death, mort. Total 145 times each, meaning reflects the cycle of life in harmony with biology and philosophy. Verse, it is he who gives life and causes death. 53:44. Analysis. This balance shows an integrated thematic and numerical design. Case study, inspiration from the Nur pattern. A physics student in Egypt, inspired by the verse, Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth, 24:35, counted 43 occurrences of the word Nur, using a concordance application. He was amazed that this number was a prime number and began to relate the pattern to his research on light in quantum physics. This discovery deepened his appreciation of the Quran as a book of numerical structure, combining science and spirituality. The universal impact of mathematical wonders. Mathematical wonders have impacted individuals and communities around the world, from mosques in Indonesia to universities in Europe. These impacts include Muslims. Patterns such as 365 Yawm reinforce the belief that the Quran is an eternal miracle. Non-Muslims. Objective patterns such as the 19 letters of the Basmala attract academics and seekers of truth to study the Quran. Academic community, research on the pattern 19, for example, 2698 times of Allah, =, 19x142, has been published in international journals. Young generation, social media and online applications make this pattern easily accessible, inspiring global learners. Supporting verses Surah 17:88 Al-Isra say, if mankind and jinn were to gather together to produce the like of this Quran, they could not. Mathematical miracles are a universal challenge relevant to all. Surah 16:125 An-Nahl, invite people to the way of your Lord with wisdom and good instruction. Mathematical miracles are a tool of dawah based on logic and wisdom. Case study, global online community. An online community called Quranic Numbers on the Discord platform with members from 40 countries shared verifications of patterns such as 145 Hayat Mort and 114 Surahs, 19x6. The community attracted Muslims, Christians and atheists who discussed the mathematical regularities of the Quran. An atheist member from Brazil, after verifying 365 Yawm, began reading a translation of the Quran, demonstrating that the numerically structured book has cross-cultural appeal. The role of technology in revealing wonders. Modern technology has made mathematical wonders more accessible, allowing anyone to verify patterns such as 12 times Shah or 43 times Nur using an app or software. Supporting verses Surah 27:93 An-Naml say, praise be to Allah, He will show you His signs and you will recognize them. Technology reveals numerical signs to a global audience. Surah 55:1-2 Ar-Rahman, the most gracious who has taught the Quran. Mathematical miracles are part of the teaching of the Quran that is now facilitated by technology. Examples of technology: concordance apps, Quran. Com and similar apps allow users to calculate word frequency in seconds. Social media. TikTok videos about COVID-19 have been viewed millions of times, reaching young audiences around the world. Digital research. Text analysis software has verified patterns such as 2698 occurrences of Allah, 19x142. Case study. Educational apps in Turkey. A Turkish startup launched the Quran Math app in 2025, which allows users to verify patterns such as 365 times Yawm and 145 times Hayat Mort through an interactive interface. The app has been downloaded by 100,000 users in 15 countries, including students and academics, who report that it makes the Quran easier to understand as a numerically structured book. Answering skepticism with logic. Some skeptics may dismiss mathematical miracles as coincidences or manipulation. However, the following facts answer this challenge. Number of patterns. Patterns like 365 times Yawm, 12 times Shah, 43 times Nur, and 145 times Hayat Maut are too many to be considered random. Objective verification. Anyone can calculate this pattern using the text of the Uthmani Qur'an. Historical context. This pattern has been around since the 7th century, passed down for 23 years without revision. Supporting verses Surah 1736, Al-Isra. Do not follow that of which you have no knowledge. Mathematical miracles are verifiable knowledge, not speculation. Surah 2:23, Al-Baqarah. And if you are in doubt about what we have revealed to our servant, then produce a chapter like it. Numerical patterns are part of the challenge of inimitability. Case study, interfaith dialogue in Canada. In an interfaith dialogue in Toronto, a Christian skeptic questioned the pattern of 19 as a coincidence. A Muslim pointed out that the 114 surahs, 19x6, the 19 letters of the Basmala, and the 2698 occurrences of Allah, 19x142, form an integrated numerical system. The skeptic began studying the Qur'an, drawn to its logic, suggesting that a book with a numerical structure could open the door to interfaith dialogue, called to explore the Qur'an. The mathematical marvel is not the end of the journey, but rather an invitation to explore the Qur'an more deeply. Whether you are a Muslim seeking to strengthen your faith, a non-Muslim seeking truth, or a scholar who appreciates logic, the Qur'an offers something for everyone. The numerical patterns are just one aspect of its miracle. The beauty of its language, the depth of its meaning, and its moral guidance are waiting to be discovered. Closing verse, Surah 55:2-4, Ar-Rahman. He who taught the Qur'an, he created man and taught him speech. The Qur'an is a divine gift that invites us to learn and think. Surah 96:1-2, Al-Alaq. Read in the name of your Lord he created man from a clot of blood. The first command of the Qur'an, read, is a call to explore its wonders, including numerical patterns. Case study, a truth seeker's journey. A software engineer in India, initially agnostic, began researching the Qur'an after seeing a video about the pattern of 365 Yawm. He counted 43 Nur and 145 Hayat Maut and was amazed by its mathematical regularity. Over the course of a year, he read translations of the Qur'an, attended study groups, and eventually converted to Islam, calling the mathematical miracle the key that unlocked his heart. This story confirms that the numerically structured book is the gateway to truth for all. Cover. The Qur'an, as a numerically structured book, is a miracle that continues to reveal its wonders. Patterns like 365 times Yawm, 43 times Nur, and 145 times Hayat Maut are invitations to contemplate the divine design that unites faith, logic, and science. From online communities to interfaith dialogue, mathematical wonders have touched hearts and minds around the world. We invite you to take the next step. Calculate a pattern, read a verse, or share a story. The Qur'an is a book for all ages, and its wonders await your exploration. From the intricate spirals of galaxies, where stars dance in a cosmic ballet, forming patterns that stretch across the vastness of space, to the delicate veins of a leaf which carry life-giving nutrients through a network so fine and precise, it mirrors the complexity of the cosmos itself. The universe whispers its secrets through the language of mathematics. This language, universal and timeless, bridges the gap between the seen and the unseen, the known and the unknown. This language, precise and elegant, speaks to an underlying order, a divine blueprint upon which all of creation is based. It is a testament to the harmony and balance that pervades every corner of existence, from the smallest atom to the grandest galaxy. The Qur'an, revealed as a guidance for humanity, also utilizes this universal language, embedding within its verses a tapestry of numerical patterns that have captivated scholars and seekers for centuries. These patterns are not just random occurrences, but are woven with purpose and intent, reflecting a higher wisdom. These patterns, often referred to as mathematical miracles, point towards a deeper harmony, a divine precision woven into the very fabric of the Quranic revelation. They serve as a bridge between the spiritual and the scientific, inviting us to explore the depths of both realms. They invite us to contemplate the intricate ways in which the Creator has chosen to communicate his message, sparking awe and wonder at the beauty of his design. Each number, each pattern, is a signpost guiding us towards a greater understanding of the divine. These numerical patterns are not mere coincidences. They are deliberate echoes of a divine order, reflecting the meticulous care with which each word of the Quran was revealed. They remind us that there is a deeper meaning to be uncovered, a hidden layer of wisdom waiting to be discovered. They are deliberate echoes of a divine order, reflecting the meticulous care with which each word of the Quran was revealed. Just as a master artist imbues each stroke with intention, so too does the divine authorship of the Quran reveal itself through this intricate numerical framework. Just as a master architect meticulously plans every dimension and proportion, so too does the divine authorship of the Quran reveal itself through this intricate numerical framework. Each verse, each chapter, is crafted with a precision that speaks to a higher intelligence, a divine architect who has designed the universe with care and purpose. Understanding these patterns requires moving beyond a superficial reading of the text, delving instead into the heart of its structure and symmetry. It is a journey of discovery, where each step reveals a new layer of meaning, a new insight into the divine wisdom that permeates the Quran. It is in this exploration that we begin to appreciate the profound depths of the Quranic revelation. As we uncover these numerical patterns, we are reminded of the interconnectedness of all things, the unity of creation, and the divine order that underpins it all. This journey of discovery is not just an intellectual pursuit, but a spiritual awakening, a reminder of the beauty and majesty of the Creator's design. One striking example of this numerical precision lies in the word Yawm, which translates to day in Arabic. The word Yawm is not just a simple term, it carries profound significance in the Islamic tradition, representing the passage of time and the cyclical nature of life. Remarkably, this word appears exactly 365 times throughout the Quran, mirroring the number of days in a solar year. This precise alignment is not a coincidence, but a reflection of the Quran's intricate structure and its deep connection to the natural world. This correspondence is difficult to dismiss as mere chance, especially considering the Quran's emphasis on the importance of time and the natural world. Time, as depicted in the Quran, is a creation of the divine, meticulously measured and profoundly significant. The significance of this pattern deepens when we consider the various contexts in which Yawm appears. It is not just a measure of days, but a concept that encompasses creation, judgment, and the rhythm of daily life. It is used to describe the days of creation, the day of judgment, and countless moments in between, highlighting the all-encompassing nature of time in the Islamic worldview. Each mention of Yawm serves as a reminder of the divine orchestration of the universe and the human experience within it. This deliberate repetition, perfectly aligned with a fundamental astronomical reality, serves as a subtle yet powerful reminder of the Creator's dominion over time and space. The word Yawm, therefore, is not just a linguistic element, but a profound symbol of the interconnectedness of time, nature, and divine will. It invites believers to reflect on the passage of time, the cycles of life, and the ultimate reality of divine judgment and creation. Another fascinating aspect of the Quran's mathematical structure is its relationship with the number 19. This number acts as a foundational element, a key that unlocks a series of interconnected patterns throughout the text. For instance, the Quran comprises 114 surahs, chapters, a number perfectly divisible by 19. Furthermore, the very first revelation sent down to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, consisted of 19 words, and the final revelation also contains a multiple of 19 verses. This consistent presence of 19 across different aspects of the Quranic revelation suggests a deliberate and intricate design, hinting at a deeper meaning embedded within the text itself. Section 4. Beyond numerology. Appreciating the difference. It is important to distinguish between appreciating these numerical patterns and engaging in numerology. Numerology often ascribes arbitrary meanings to numbers, seeking hidden messages through calculations and manipulations. The Quran's numerical patterns, however, are not about deciphering secret codes or predicting the future. Instead, they serve as signposts, inviting us to delve deeper into the text and contemplate its message. They are reminders of the divine origin of the Quran, showcasing the meticulous care and precision with which it was revealed. These patterns are not meant to be ends in themselves, but rather tools that can enhance our understanding and appreciation of the Quran's wisdom. Section 5. Unveiling deeper meanings, purpose and interpretation. The purpose of these numerical patterns is not to unlock hidden meanings or provide definitive answers to theological debates. Instead, they offer a unique lens through which we can appreciate the depth and complexity of the Quran. Rather, they serve as a testament to the divine authorship of the Quran, highlighting its miraculous nature and inviting further reflection. These patterns are like a divine signature, a subtle yet profound reminder of the Quran's origin and its unparalleled wisdom. These patterns can inspire awe and wonder, strengthening faith and deepening our connection with the divine. When we encounter these intricate designs, we are reminded of the infinite knowledge and creativity of the Creator, which can fill our hearts with a sense of peace and reverence. However, it is important to approach the interpretation of these patterns with humility and caution. The Quran itself warns against overstepping the bounds of knowledge and encourages believers to seek understanding with a sincere and humble heart. While some interpretations are widely accepted and based on sound, scholarly principles, others can be subjective and prone to speculation. Scholars have spent centuries studying these patterns, and their insights can guide us, but we must be wary of interpretations that lack a solid foundation. The true beauty of these patterns lies not in forcing definitive interpretations, but in allowing them to spark curiosity and inspire further exploration of the Quran's rich tapestry of wisdom. They invite us to delve deeper, to ask questions, and to seek knowledge, fostering a lifelong journey of learning and spiritual growth. By embracing this journey, we can uncover new layers of meaning and develop a more profound appreciation for the divine message contained within the Quran.